Let's see if that works. Okay, now it's working. All right, so now I'm live on YouTube. So hello, YouTube. All right, so we're live over on YouTube. We're live over on Kick. Feel free to say hi in chat over on Kick if you're hanging out. Again, if you do want to get in on the giveaways, you will need to come over to Twitch to do exclamation point giveaway in chat. I'm working on still getting the YouTube integration going, and then whenever Kick comes out with an API, I will absolutely get a whole bunch of stuff kind of set up over there so I can broadcast over on that platform as well. X90, good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. So yeah, we got a bunch of giveaways that we're going to do. I've got a bunch of like really cool filaments that I want to show off. Been doing some dragons in those new filaments, which are going to be really, really cool. I'm not going to give away all of those dragons, but we're going to start giving away dragons. Just I feel bad for not streaming for such a long time. So I'm going to give away some dragons eventually. But for today, we're only going to give away like maybe one or two. But I've got some cool laser engravings that I want to give away. At some point, I also want to try out some new Rode like lapel mic setup that I picked up that I want to try out. This Shure microphone is absolutely fantastic. I love this Shure microphone, but when I'm doing stuff on the workbench, having to move this microphone around like all the time is kind of a pain. So I want to try a lapel mic just for Thursday streams. So just forewarning, Thursday streams, the audio will be a little bit different, but Sunday and Tuesday when I'm here at the desk, I'll be using this microphone so you'll hear me really well. Let's see what's going on. Last weekend, I was at a 3D printer sort of convention festival thing just north of the Denver region. I got this giant jug of resin for free. Basically, somebody made these little resin like rebel codes or whatever, and on the back was a coupon code. And I'm like, what's this coupon code even for? Because it says Imperial Credit, standard 8K resin, 4 kilogram jug, dark cool gray, which is this dark gray color, with a website and a coupon code and expiry date in June. And I'm like, well, what is this thing even for? So I go to the website and I find the 4 kilogram jug and I put it in the shopping cart and I put in the coupon code and it rang it up for free. It was like a $73 jug of resin for free. I just had to pay like $14 to ship it. I'm like, I'll take 4 kilograms of resin for $14. So, hey, GBAF, good to see you. So I got a bunch of resin. So I'm going to be doing a whole bunch more resin printing for the airbrushing. So I'm going to get this thing going on a regular cycle now. I was also reached out to at that festival from another company who's like, hey, would you like to get in our early access program and evaluate a new resin printer that's coming out? And I'm like, sure. They said, well, you have to unbox it. You have to do it like off camera. Like make videos for us. We want like honest feedback and user experience feedback and whatever, but we don't want it on stream. I'm like, that's fine. And they said, once we release it, then absolutely like put the videos out and so on. So I'm waiting to hear back whether I got accepted into that. It was supposed to be a 45-minute call. I ended up like yammering on. You know me. I get chatty when I'm passionate about something, and the phone call went for like an hour and a half. And they're like, we're really impressed with the amount of 3D printing that you do and how much you care about the quality of what you print and so on. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. I'm hoping to hear back either this week or next week about getting a second resin printer. It's like an industrial resin printer company who is trying to get into the hobbyist market. And so they do all these like really fancy like industrial machines, and they want to like get into building like a little desktop unit for hobbyists like me. And I'm like, yeah, I'll absolutely check that out. So in the meantime, I got a bunch of really cool filaments in, been doing a ton of dragons. Hey, learner, good to see you. And so I want to show off like some of those filaments, but by all means, drop questions in chat if you got questions. Normally Sunday is like career prep, interview prep. I do have one resume to review. I've only had one come in the last couple of weeks. If anybody ever wants a resume review, please feel free to send it over to this link. Let me put that link in chat for Kick and for YouTube as well. If you ever want a free resume review, you can submit that to me here at this link. And I'll review those for free on stream. If you want a private review, that's fine. We can talk about that. There's a spot on the forum to specify whether you want a public review for free or whether you want a private review. All the money that gets raised through things like resume reviews and bits and subs and things like that, it all goes back into fundraisers that we do here on the stream. We're getting ready to wrap up the fundraiser for Unloop. Today's the last day, so if anybody wants to contribute to Unloop today, that would be fantastic. We're going to roll over to STEM to the Future as of tomorrow. And so by the end of tonight, whatever's been donated, I'm going to match. And actually, we'll just do that at the end of the stream. I'll match whatever contributions are coming in as of today. I'll go in and I'll match that. You can watch me do it. I believe in financial transparency for that kind of thing. So everything that all of you have raised, I'm going to match all of that money. So I'll do that at the very end of the stream if somebody wants to remind me, so I don't forget. Actually, I will make a note for myself so that I don't forget. But yeah, good to see everybody. Thanks for hanging out today. So today's going to be a little bit longer stream because I do want to get into a whole bunch of stuff. Like I said, I've got one resume to review. If you've got questions about getting a job, whether or not it's in the tech industry, questions about like, how do I even find companies where I want to work? How do I know if a company's a good company? How do I build a resume or a cover letter to be effective? Like, I can help with that kind of stuff no matter what kind of industry you're getting in. Most of my career has been in the tech industry, though. So if you've got questions about, what's it like to work at tech companies and how do I get that first job in tech, things like that, I'm absolutely happy to answer those questions at any point during the stream today. But I do want to kind of like peripherally dive in on some of these other things. Then I'm going to get into potentially some coding. I've got a Raspberry Pi kit that I want to hook up, and this little bag right here is full of a bunch of smoke sensors that I want to hook up to the Raspberry Pi. I will need to probably go find a little adapter board, and once I plug those smoke sensors in, I'm hoping to pull up some statistics. Like I want to build a little API that will let me query statistics about the different smoke sensors and air quality sensors, so that I can put this next to my laser engravers, so I can see kind of the effectiveness of putting an enclosure on and having different sorts of fans and things like that to try to get the smoke away from the work area. So we're going to potentially, I'm going to at least unbox the stuff today. Whether or not I get into building out that API, we'll see how that goes. So Unloop, donation, just building myself a little to-do list here for the stream. So by all means, if you have questions, let me know. We're not giving away a Raspberry Pi, but I'm going to unbox a Raspberry Pi. It's a Raspberry Pi 3 kit that I got on Amazon. And we're going to unbox it, and we're going to take a look at it. We're going to assemble some of the stuff that's in that kit. And then the smoke sensors are a different thing. The blue 3D printed dragon that we're giving away for the monthly giveaway, I am going to extend the monthly giveaway into May. I am going to need to figure out a little bit of how to do that in the software, just because I didn't end up streaming as much in April as I'd hoped. I was hoping to like have lots and lots of folks come by all the streams and enter the giveaway a bunch of times. If I do exclamation point giveaway right now, I think we're like 80 total monthly entries or something like that. Yeah, 81 total monthly entries. In the past, we've had like 3 times that many entries. And it's just because I haven't streamed very much in the past 2 weeks. We've just had a lot of family stuff go on and kind of impact us and so on. So my stream schedule has been really off. I'm going to get back on it starting today. I'm going to get back to it at least 3 times a week. And so I'm going to extend this giveaway probably to mid-May. So probably the weekend of like the 13th, 14th of May. We'll extend it. We've got a big giveaway on Thursday. Thursday is May the 4th, which is a big Star Wars day. We're going to give away a Star Wars Lego kit. I'll show you that on this stream so that you know what's coming up on Thursday. You're welcome to come by and enter the giveaway for that. That'll be the big like daily giveaway, and then we're going to like carry over the monthly entries and so on with that. So we'll do all of that. But I do want to show some of the filaments that I got and some of the prints that they're making. Learner was asking, what's the carbon footprint of 3D printers? That's a great question. So from an electricity point of view, most 3D printers don't actually use that much electricity. Some of them, depending on the bed size and how much heat is needed to like warm up that bed, and whether it's enclosed to kind of keep that heat in, and whether it has to keep heating it like for a really, really long print, will depend on how much electricity that printer is going to use. So from a like an actual like carbon footprint point of view, I don't have numbers on those. But I run I have 7 3D printers. I'm not running all of them all the time. I generally keep like 3 or 4 of them going, not 24 hours a day, but many hours, just about every single day, printing stuff off. And my electricity bill, when I get my bill in from my energy company, they're like, "Hey, your gas usage is lower than most people, and your water usage is lower than most people, but your electricity is like 3 times what other people in your neighborhood are using." So I do use a lot more electricity, but I'm also in a cold basement where I run a space heater down at my feet because it's freezing cold down here. It's why I'm always wearing hoodies and sweaters on the stream. It does get really cold down here. And so sometimes the printers have to like heat up a little bit more to stay warm and do what they do and things like that. Not if, when I get a contractor down here and figure out how to insulate my basement a little bit more, my electricity bill is going to drop pretty significantly. Most of the electricity that I use is actually coming from the little space heater that I have down here that I run because I'm down here, 10 plus hours every day. Between work and hobby and, programming and watching other people on Twitch and Kick, like GBav, who was hanging out in chat a minute ago. So I love just being down here in the basement and nerding out on my workshop. I got a couple of laser engravers now, and we're going to be doing a lot more resin printing, which means more airbrushing and more painting. So I definitely want to get some better insulation down here. And that'll help with my overall electricity footprint. So I don't have like strict numbers on carbon footprint per se, but right now my personal electricity use is quite a bit higher. Now these lights, these are all LED lights, and so these lights don't take up very much power. I also keep them pretty low power, like these lights behind me. I don't run it like full brightness, partly because it would like saturate on the camera, and you wouldn't really see it anyway. But I've got like a light up on the ceiling. I've got a light bar up on the ceiling, and then these lights, and then this one behind me here is kind of bright, just for visual effect and things like that. Although I've been thinking about moving this one here behind me. I'm thinking about moving it like kind of running up the wall here in the corner, but I'm all right with it there. You just don't see the full bar because my chair covers up most of that light bar. But we'll figure that out over time. But all of the lights that I have down here in the workshop, down in the basement, are all LEDs. I don't have any incandescent lights, and so they're all very, very low power. Even these lights in front of me here, these are all LEDs, so they're very, very low power. So you replaced all your CFL bulbs. That's helped reduce my bills a lot. Yeah, it definitely does. Hey, it's Derek. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming to chat at Turing a few weeks ago. Hey, you're welcome. I've actually got to rebuild that whole workshop sometime in the next week and a half because I'm giving that workshop again next week, not this week, but next week. And so it'll be a little bit cleaner as far as like what I present in that workshop. But yeah, thanks for coming by. Cool. So I've got some unboxing. I've got one resume to review. If anybody else wants a resume review, feel free to send it over to this link. Let me know in chat that you've sent me a resume so I know to go look for it. Otherwise, I know that I've got one resume to review. I wanted to show off some 3D printer filament and some of the dragons that I've made with that. The blue dragon is ready to go. All the horns and everything are all painted up. So I've got the horns painted, and they're all ready to go and kind of aged and so on. So it's ready to like box up and ship out when we do the final like big giveaway. Again, I'm going to extend the monthly giveaway thing. So every time I stream until May the 13th, the weekend of the 13th, 14th, somewhere in there. Although the 14th is Mother's Day. I'll have to figure out when I'm going to stream. I might stream on the 13th, I think is a Saturday. Saturday, May 13th. Is that right? I want to go look that up. We'll do the big monthly drawing. Yeah, May 13th. We'll do a stream on the 13th on the Saturday, and we'll give away that big dragon. And so all of these streams that I'm coming through, and if you do this exclamation point giveaway, that's going to get you in the giveaway for today, but that also gives you an entry into that giveaway for the big dragon. I'll show that off here in just a sec. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to show you. So let me get to it. So showing off this dragon was a really big hit at the 3D Printer Festival that I was at last weekend, which is why I didn't stream last Sunday. But then a bunch of other stuff hit during the week, and I just didn't get around to streaming during the week. So, but this is the 3D printed dragon. So it's all in pieces. I do have pictures of this up on Instagram. If you want to go check that out, you can go find me on the socials. I posted better pictures. The lighting in here is pretty extreme. You can see some of the gradient on the wings right there, but the gradient actually looks much better in photographs. So if you want to go check out my Instagram feed, you'll see some pictures of it. But this is the dragon that we're giving away for the month-long giveaway. So it's all painted up. It's all ready to go. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I also have a renewed license from the company that makes this dragon to sell this dragon. So if anybody wants a commissioned print, whether or not you want it airbrushed, you can choose like a filament color. If you just want it in a particular filament, you can reach out and let me know. You can just email me. It's ian@iandouglas.llc if you want to do that, or go to cool3dthings.com and you can reach me through there. But basically, I'm allowed to sell this now as a kit, as a print, and whether or not you want it airbrushed, because that takes extra time and so on. But if you want it airbrushed, let me know. But we're gonna give that one away, and then there's horns and stuff like that. So I don't attach the horns because I want you to figure out, like, do you want it pointed away from the head? Do you want it pointed in towards the neck? Do you want it like pointed up? Do you want it pointed down? Like, you'll be able to kind of crazy glue these in however you want the horns. So there's horns. There's 4 horns on the head, and then there's a horn on the tip of each of the wings. Or there's 5 little horns that go on the back of the wing here. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's these little horns. They're still on the stand because I was painting them, but I'll make sure that these are all removed and sanded down and stuff. I do need to do a bit of sanding on that one. But basically, these little horns will kind of poke out the end of the wing. And again, you can arrange these however you want and glue them in. So this is what we're giving away on May 13th. That's the new giveaway date. It was going to be May the 2nd. It was going to be on Tuesday this week, but I just got too busy with life and didn't end up streaming as much as I thought. So get people over here, get in these giveaways. I'm giving stuff away, shipping worldwide. So that's the big giveaway. I'm going to show off some of these other filaments and some of the dragons that I've been making there. We are going to give 1 or 2 of these away. I'll probably start a poll and let you all decide which of these dragons we're going to give away today. And then we've also got some laser engraving stuff that I want to show, and then we'll get into the resume review. Meanwhile, if you've got questions about company research, interview preparation, career preparation, anything like that, feel free to drop those questions in chat. If I miss your question, please repost it. Happy to take questions. That's kind of the primary goal of today's stream, is like get you ready for your job hunt for the week. Yeah, I do want to show off some of these other filaments, and then we'll set up a poll. We'll just make it a really long poll, as long as I can, and then we'll let you all vote on which dragon we'll give away today. So some other things that I've gotten into are some really big laser engraving. So this kind of stuff, this house runs on love and laughter. Bless us home with love and laughter. Figured out how to like get these things engraved and cut little holes in them so you can hang them on the wall. This one was kind of a test run because when I started, it was mirrored on the background or on the thing. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll re-etch it properly. So some of it's a learning curve, but we'll give away a laser engraving today, and you'll have a choice between the one that actually engraved properly, or I've got some really cool little keychains that I've got here as well. So I've got some round keychains and rectangular keychains, and I've got different sayings on those. Some of them are funny and witty, and some of them have like little emoji faces. So I grabbed like the little crazy emoji and like figured out how to etch that on there. And it's like, where did I leave my keys? Right where you left them. So I've got things like this that we can give away. So I've got a handful of those, and then I've got just really cool sayings like happiness is homemade, and I've got one with the word family written on it. So we've got all kinds of stuff. So if you're looking for something for Mother's Day, let me know for the giveaway today. Maybe I'll give one of these away if you want one of these as a Mother's Day gift, or if you want that big laser engraving thing, I'll figure out how to ship that. But let's take a look at these dragons. So Polymaker has come out with these cool new filaments called Starlight. And I'm hoping that these, so you can, These ones actually show up pretty nice on camera. So this one is called Starlight Jupiter, and honestly, in person, when I unboxed this, I'm like, this is a really bland looking kind of filament. It was kind of this weird mustard yellow. But as it prints, you get this really cool color shift. You can kind of see between my fingers, you get kind of this copper gold kind of reflection off of it. And so it's got this really cool, yeah, it does kind of look, sort of Dijon mustard, but then it's got this really cool, like gold copper kind of glitter, sort of color shift effect in here. So their Starlight filaments are absolutely fantastic. They look really amazing. This one is called Neptune, and it's like, okay, well, it's blue, but this one's actually not showing up on stream on the camera, but it shimmers this really cool, like aqua green color. Like I don't know what they're putting in their filaments besides like pixie dust and unicorn farts, but like this stuff looks really amazing. So this is their Neptune, their Starlight Neptune filament, and trust me, they look way better in person. Like it's this cool, like, kind of very light cobalt blue. Like normally a cobalt blue would be like a really vivid blue. This is it's a softer blue than a cobalt, but you get kind of this cool, like green aqua shimmer sort of color shift effect on their Neptune one. The other one actually just finished. I'm going to go get it off the printer right now. This one is called Mercury, and it's kind of a silver, but the color shift goes into like lavenders and light blue. So it's kind of a silver, lavender, light blue sort of color shift. Again, these cameras are not doing this justice. It's probably more lavender than the blue. But holy cow, like whatever voodoo they've got cooking up on their filament line, these Starlight filaments are pretty wild. So I've got these three filaments. This one literally just finished printing. The print bed is still a little bit warm to the touch on this. But we'll get this one off. So the cool thing about these dragons is they print flat like this. And then as soon as you pull them off, they articulate, they move. So the hinges all print around themselves. It moves. And the designer of this one is Flexi Factory, and they basically built their dragon in a way that it kind of rears up and holds itself up like this. So again, it's this really cool, like silver lavender kind of color, but there's also like a bit of a blue shimmer in it. But I would say it's more lavender. But watching it print last night, there's like this really subtle like hint of blue in there as well. So these Starlight filaments are absolutely fantastic. So those are the Polymaker ones. And again, I'm going to set up a poll for like which of these dragons we're going to give away today, because I got more. This is a new one from Amelin. They call it like gold, but it reminds me a lot of the Prusa Mystic Green. It's actually more of a green tint, but again, it's got like all kinds of really cool gold color shifting going on in here. It does look like kind of a dark green, like a really, really deep forest green, but in the light, you get all these like gold and yellow shimmers going through this. Absolutely amazing. I don't do the justice to like filament stories, like Courtney on filament stories, like look at this filament, and then do like the really cool like close up and panning and so on. Um, but you can see the amount of sparkle. You can kind of get a hint of some of the gold color that's kind of flecked all through this one, and then the gold effect that you can see down here by my finger, the way that the light is reflecting off of there, that's actually the gold shimmer that you see on this particular filament. So we got that one. This is another new one that they came out with. This is a 3-color rainbow blend. So it's not a co-extrusion, but it's a 3-color, and it is red, purple, and blue as that color blend. And so it's a rainbow. So it went from blue into red into purple back into blue. So this one is a really, really nice silk kind of filament. So we get that one to give away. And then this one is a black, red, purple. Same company. So this is all Amolin filament now. So the gold one, the red, blue, purple, and this is the black, purple, red that they make. What's interesting on this one though is the back legs fuse together here. So normally these legs would separate right here, but it actually kind of fused together. So I did re-slice it to be a little bit bigger so that these back legs would actually break apart a little bit better. Like the foot articulates, but this knee is supposed to articulate. These two parts of the leg are supposed to come apart. And it actually fused on both sides. Doesn't affect the model at all. It just doesn't articulate as much. But the quality of the filament, Amolin does a fantastic job with their color transitions. Some of them are a little more rapid in the transition. Like you can see, it went from the black into the purple like really quickly, where the purple into the red back into the black is like very, very subtle. But then going back, from the black into the purple is like almost an immediate change. But that one's also really, really nice. Like the color transitions that they come up with are pretty great. Feel free to get in on the giveaway. We're going to give away one of these dragons today, and y'all are going to get to pick which color. Have I taken them outside in the sun daylight yet? No, but that's the plan. I've got a little turntable, and I'll put it out in the back, and I'll do some sunlight photos on these and get them on Instagram. Definitely got to show this one off. So this is a co-extrusion that Amolin came out with. And so you see a lot of co-extrusions out there like, oh, purple to gold or red to blue. This one they come out with is actually red to black. And because it sometimes twists in the middle, you get some really interesting sort of striping effects going on. But this extrusion that they made, this is a co-extrusion filament. So it's two colors at the same time, and depending on the angle that it prints and so on, you get very different effects. And so this is their red and black. And I love the really sharp contrast colors, like going from the red to the blue. I've got a number of co-extrusions like the quantum filament that are like green and silver, but the silver just kind of melts into the green. So it's like green and light green. You don't really see the drastic sort of color change in some of them. But this one is a black and a red. And so the extrusion colors you get out of this are pretty great. Let's see if I can get this one to one hand. Here we go. So this is their red and black transition, or not a transition, it's a co-extrusion that they make. And so you get these really cool effects. And then because the filament sometimes twists while you're printing, you get this cool like stripe effect that happens. And so you just end up with like random stripes in the middle of your print, which looks really cool on the body, for example. This one has a more of a stripe going through the body here. And so, because it prints coiled up and it prints at different angles and things like that, you get these really, really cool effects. So those are all the dragons that we're going to get to pick from. I printed 2 of these just to kind of get the randomness factor going. But I've got several spools of all of these filaments now. This one back here is just a blue aqua one that we've printed in the past from Amolin. And then I've got another one in the in kind of that shimmery green gold from Amolin as well. So we'll set up a poll here in a minute, and we'll see how long can I make a poll on Twitch. How long will it let me make a poll? Will let me do that for up to 10 minutes. All right, we're gonna do a 10-minute poll of which filament color dragon do we give away today? So we have the Starlight Neptune, which is the blue. We have Starlight Jupiter, which is the gold. We have Starlight Mercury, which is the silver lavender. And then we've got Amolin. We've got their gold green Mystic. I'll just call it Mystic. And then we've got let's do the Amolin red black co-extrusion. All right, I'm going to start a 10-minute poll on those for which of those you want to vote for. So if you want to vote on those colors, you will need to come over to Twitch chat to do that, as well as to get in on the giveaway. So we're going to give away one of those dragons today. I'm going to let you all pick which color we're going to give away. And then we've got the laser engravings. We've got that really big sign. We've got the keychains. So we'll draw a couple of names today. We'll draw one for the dragon. We'll draw one for a laser etch. And then you'll get to choose whether you want one of the big signs, whether you want a keychain, or whether you want to choose something on the website. I've got all that stuff set up in a catalog ready to go. I also promised that we were going to give away the Boba Fett that I airbrushed. So this is the Boba Fett ship. I did this as a print challenge thing a couple of weeks ago, and then I airbrushed it. I also promised I was going to give this away on a stream, and then I ended up not streaming that night. But I do want to ship this to somebody. If somebody wants this as a giveaway today, that'll be a choice. That's pretty much it. All right, so those will be our giveaway things for the day. So I'll draw 3 or 4 names kind of throughout the day. But I did want to show all of that stuff. I do want to get in and do the resume review here as well. So let me go pull up the resume review while y'all are voting on which dragon to give away. Too many choices. There are a lot of choices. Did we manage to build the Kik bot last time? So learner, no. So Kik doesn't have an API. They've got some kind of bot system running over there. I forget what it's called. I haven't seen it spam our chat over here on Twitch. But Kik actually doesn't have an API. So last time we were trying to get YouTube connected, but StreamerBot was acting up a little bit, and I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole of setting up the YouTube API manually in my Python bot, because I do want to rebuild the whole giveaway bot in StreamerBot. So that means rewriting everything in C#. And in order to do that, I've got to figure out how to get C# to talk to Airtable, which is the online database that I use for all the giveaway stuff. So it ended up being more complex than I had time for on that particular stream. But I'm still researching like what I need to do, and then we will do that on a dedicated stream where I'm doing just coding and programming. So that'll happen on a Tuesday at some point. My goal for programming this week. So today we're going to unbox the Raspberry Pi and these smoke sensors just to kind of see what's in those kits. But the coding of the API to actually pull those smoke detector stats, I'm probably going to do that this Tuesday because I've got a couple of more videos that I want to make. So I heard back from ATaser. They are satisfied with the amount of video that I've made, and so they're like, you get to keep the ATaser P5 now, which is a little 5-watt diode laser. It's their entry-level diode laser engraver. And so they're like, yep, we're happy with all the content that you've made so far. You can keep the machine, which is really amazing of them to, send a review unit and let me unbox it and things like that. So they were really happy with the amount of videos that I made. And I'm like, well, I've still got more things I want to do. And they're like, well, you're not obligated to, but we would appreciate anything you do. But please post on Twitter when you post those videos. They're trying to build up their Twitter audience. And so I've got a couple of videos that you can go check out on my YouTube. If you're curious about laser engraving, you can go check those out around like how do you position things underneath and how do you like kind of square everything up. And we unboxed a little Raspberry Pi camera kit and we put that on the laser engraver. So now I can make like motion activated videos when I do laser engrave something. So if somebody's looking for a laser engraving and they want a video capture of it, I can send them the video capture of like, here's how I made the thing. So all those are up on my YouTube channel, and ATaser was really happy about that. I also did some coordinating with the folks over on MakerDeck, where I had the laser engraver on MakerDeck, and they spotlighted it for a while, and ATaser was really pleased about that. They're like, wow, thanks for doing that. It's like literally took a message of like, hey, can you like highlight the laser engraver for a minute? And they were happy to do that. And I was always in chat, like talking about what the model was and how easy it was to set up and things like that. So ATaser was really pleased. So they're like, your obligation as far as like amount of content is over. If you want to keep making stuff, great. So I bought a second laser engraver, which is a 10-watt, 20-watt, and 40-watt laser module. The ATaser is a 5-watt. And so I do want to still get into some comparison videos of like, here's how long it takes on a 5-watt. Here's how long it takes on a 10-watt. Here's how long it takes on a 20-watt and a 40-watt and what they're capable of doing as far as like how much they can cut through and things like that. I've got the 10-watt laser head on the X tool right now and just cutting out the little holes on that big disc that I showed a minute ago. Just how quickly it cuts through that. I'm like, it's mind-blowing. the 10 watt. The 5 watt would have really struggled to like cut through that like in a reasonable amount of time. But the 10 watt like cut through it like nothing. So I'm looking forward to like playing around with doing more comparison videos between them and getting those posted as well. So we'll check those out. Cool. Well, let's take a question from Learner, and then we'll dive into that resume review. So Learner is asking in chat, how do I transition from technology consulting to a mainstream development of developer advocacy roles? So give me a little bit more context on what you're doing right now as a technology consultant and what you consider mainstream development. As far as like, I can speak at length about consultancy work and contracting work. I can talk about being a developer for a long, long time. I've also been in developer advocacy for a long time. So if you can give me a little more context on what kind of information you'd like to know, I'd love to answer this for you. In my career, so kind of the transition for me, I've always had this mindset of I learn a thing and I want to teach it to someone else. And that's also why I have this whole catchphrase around my live stream that says, share what you know and we all win. It's all about like, how do we share our knowledge with other people, and we kind of grow as a community as we're willing to share our knowledge with one another. As you get into development roles, as a senior level developer, for example, you start to mentor other people in your organization around you. And that actually makes a really big impact on the company and the business and how they do what they do, because you're making everybody better at that company. Everybody's going to be better at the organization. And so it's an important sort of step that you take as a senior level developer to get into more of that mentorship. And so for me, I was basically a senior dev within, 4 or 5 years of my career. I was considered a senior dev. And then you end up mentoring everyone else around you and you kind of raise them up to where you are. And so a lot of the work I would do, pair programming and working with other people, was like I would teach them something I knew, they would teach me something that they knew, and now we're both better at a thing. And that basically transitioned into like, hey, I do a pretty good job explaining concepts and ideas to people. And so I got into full-time teaching. At some of my roles, like one of my roles, I worked for 4 years at a company who had dedicated developer relations and developer advocates, and I would follow them around to events and conferences. And I actually got out on my own and spoke at a couple of conferences and gave some talks. And so I got to kind of play in the developer relations kind of realm, although many of them were burning out on just how much travel they had to do all the time. And so I always wanted to be careful that if I got into a DevRel or dev advocate kind of role, to be careful about how much time I spent doing travel, because I didn't want to burn out. And so I kind of transitioned through my career as a developer, as a manager, back into development, back into management, back into development, and then I got into developer relations kind of role. And in that DevRel role, I pretty much did zero travel. I did like regional kinds of things. I went to like local meetups and local, companies and things like that to try to build up our customer base, because it was a brand new startup. And doing that DevRel was a lot of fun. I was doing tons of software development all the time, lots of talks and content and documentation, things like that. And then I got into full-time teaching. And then I went from the teaching role back into, from the teaching and education side, I went back into developer advocacy. So cool. Let's follow up on chat. It's consulting for an ERP project solution. Collaboration and sharing is what helps everybody grow. Yep. I'm a junior developer and consultant, but I love pair programming with my juniors on the team. Okay. So if you're relatively new yourself, working with others is important. And sharing your knowledge with each other is also important. But it's also important that you get mentorship from people that have been in the industry a lot longer than you about why we do things the way that we do. Not just, hey, I found a solution that works. Finding a solution that works and plugging it in and everything works okay, that's fine. But understanding why to do something a particular way is sometimes more important, because then as you grow as a senior developer, you know why to do something a particular way, not just, oh yeah, I remember running into that once and here's how we implemented a change. But if you have a better understanding as to why that implementation helped you, that's going to have a much bigger impact on your overall knowledge. So that would be one thing that I would try to focus on, is understanding the why, not just the what, but why did that help? Why did that solution work? Why did coding it in a particular way? Or why did transitioning over to this other technology, why did that help? Not just go do this thing. Because as a senior level developer, you're going to need to be answering the why a lot more than the what. Because people are going to come to you and they're going to have questions about like what to do, but they really want to know why. And so being able to explain that is really important. And as a developer advocate, that's also a big portion of your job is explaining as part of that content, like here's why our company is doing this thing. Here's why we're doing, such and such. And so it's important that you be able to sort of understand enough at a technical depth that you can explain why. Very important to why things work. Yeah. So you can transition from developer type of role where you're doing kind of that consultancy and you're doing that pair programming and you're doing like contract work, but to get into a developer advocacy role, part of being an advocate is an advocate for other people using that company's software, but also advocating for why the company is doing something so that you can explain that well to other people. So part of my role at Postman, for example, is being able to explain to people, well, here's why we put these limitations on these different paid plans or free plans and why you can do a certain thing. Here's why we develop, these kinds of API tools and not other tools. Here's why we do this. But then also from a developer's point of view, when they kind of push back and say, hey, like these limits don't make sense. Like, can we get better limitations on these things? Because on the free plan where we don't have access to this automation, we need to go in and manually do this thing. But if you're limiting how many times we can manually do this thing, that doesn't work for us. And now I can advocate for them to the company and say, hey, we're hearing from a lot of users that this limitation needs to be extended. And so I can advocate for them. I can also advocate for the business, but I need to be able to explain why. And so that's a big part of my job as a developer advocate, is the why. Like, why is our company doing this, but why does that not work for the customer? And being able to sort of translate that back and forth is a big part of what I do. And it also helps just as a regular developer when you're working with and around other people, being able to explain why something worked is also a really big deal. All right, cool. So with the giveaways, we are trying to raise money for Unloop. It's a charitable organization which is raising money to help people who've been incarcerated find jobs in the tech industry. We've raised about $400. Our community goal was $1,000. We're not going to hit that, I don't think, unless somebody really generously wants to drop $505 on us today. But if anybody can help out with Unloop, I am going to match all of that donation today. Give me 1 sec. Hey, bud, can you check if HelloFresh just did a drop-off? Thanks. We have HelloFresh coming. Not to take a commercial break, but we've been using HelloFresh for a while, and we're loving it. If anybody ever wants a coupon code for HelloFresh to try it out, let me know. I'm not going to do it here on the stream, but if you want to contact me privately, I'm happy to chat about HelloFresh and kind of our experience. What was I saying? Totally lost my train of thought. What was I saying right before HelloFresh? Anybody help me out in chat? I forgot what I was saying. Total derailment of my brain. Not yet? Okay, not here yet. I forget what I was talking about now. Anyway, we were talking about advocacy and explaining the why. I was transitioning into some other thought, and I forget what I was talking about after that. We were talking about Unloop. So yeah, we're trying to raise money for Unloop. If you can help out with that, that'd be great. Later today, we're going to roll over to STEM to the Future, and it's a group that's going to help Black and Latino schools get access to STEM equipment and better equip their students for STEM careers as well. So if you want to help out on that, I would appreciate any help on that. And again, I'm going to match that a little bit later. So whatever we raise today for Unloop, at the end of the stream, I'm going to go in online. I'm going to match that donation to Unloop, and then we'll transition over to STEM to the Future. But we are going to carry the giveaway over into May. It looks like that poll finished. I didn't even notice what the poll outcome was. Let's see if I can go back and pull that up. Polls. Poll. Y'all help me out on that poll, and now I can't find the results of it. Let's see. There's got to be a poll on here somewhere. Did anybody catch the result of the poll as far as what color of dragon we're giving away today? We'll draw for that, and then I want to do the resume review. Did anybody happen to catch what the poll result was? Anybody? Bueller? Why can't I pull up my own poll results? Because I waited too long? There's got to be a way to like pull that up after the fact. Poll results. Chat. Does it show up there? If I pop out chat, no. It also doesn't show us anything. I have to run that poll again. It's frustrating. Why can't I get the poll results? Manage poll. Oh, here we go. View results. All right. So the Starlight Jupiter and the Amelin Red Blue, or sorry, it was supposed to be the Red Black co-extrusion. They each had 1 vote. So only 2 people voted on that whole thing as far as which one to give away. So we had the Starlight Jupiter Gold and we had the Amelin Red Black co-extrusion. Both had equal votes. So we'll do a tiebreaker. Which Filament Dragon do we give away today? We had the Amelin Red Black co-extrusion. And it won't let me type in the whole name for some reason. Or we had the Starlight Jupiter Gold. I'm also going to put the Starlight Neptune Blue one on there because that one's actually really, really nice. All right, we'll give you another 10 minutes on that one. So feel free to vote on that one. Again, do exclamation point giveaway in chat if you want to get on the giveaway. You will need to be in chat to respond so that you can choose. We are going to draw several names today. We're going to do one for a dragon. We're going to do one for a laser etch or 2. And then I've also got the Boba Fett ship as well to give away. Mark H., good to see you. Missed a great opportunity for that new Starlight series. They did Neptune and Jupiter. Should have done Uranus as well. Yeah, it would have been a real weird, like Muddy Brown, I'm sure. Neon brown. I mean, the Starlight colors are really, really nice. Mark H., I don't know if you were here in chat earlier, but I showed off all 3 of them. So this is the Mercury one. It's kind of a silver lavender, but there's also a really cool blue shimmer that goes through it as well. You can kind of see. I caught a glimpse of the blue shining through here a second ago on the camera. It's really hard to see with these lights, though. I am going to get these outside and get some sunlight pictures of these. But this is a really cool, like, it's mostly kind of a silver lavender, but then you get just this really cool light blue kind of flicker kind of going through it. So we got that one. And then this is their Neptune. So again, it's a really nice, deep kind of aqua kind of blue color. And it's got this really cool kind of green, like hint of green sort of shimmer that goes through it. A very light green shimmer, not a dark green. But again, it doesn't show up well on these cameras. And then we've got the Jupiter, which is it's kind of like a Dijon mustard orangey sort of gold color, but you can kind of see near my fingers here, you get this really rich orange copper gold kind of shimmer going through. This one shows up by far the best on camera right now, as far as like the color change that this does. Um, and then the other one that you're voting on right now is this co-extrusion from Amelin. It's red and black co-extrusion. So this is their typical silk co-extrusion line, but this one is a really drastic red and black co-extrusion. So we're voting on that one, or the Jupiter, which is the gold one, or the Neptune one. So if you want to go ahead and vote on that and do exclamation point giveaway, get in on that giveaway. I will ship these around, and we're going to draw a bunch of names today just because I haven't streamed very much, and we are going to carry the stream giveaways into until May 13th. May 13th, we're going to draw for the really big dragon. So we're going to give this away. Again, I've got photos of this up on the Instagram account if you want to go check that out. So yeah, get in on the giveaway. You like the first one the best? I forget which one I just showed. Oh, that was the Mercury one, the silver lavender one. So it's pretty cool for sure. So yeah, so those are some of the dragons. Amelin also has this really cool. They've got a couple of new 3-blend rainbow colors. They've got one that's red, blue, purple, and they've got another one which is red, purple, black. And I showed off those as well. So yeah, I'm gonna get photos of all of those and get them up on Amazon where I bought them, because I think they deserve having some good photos there. But I also want to get these. I want to start getting these pictures up on the website for sale, because I am licensed to sell this dragon, as well as this dragon. So I'm also licensed to sell this model now. Well, I'm relicensed. I had a license for it back in the day. I let it expire and I renewed it. So, have I or anyone else seen a nice orange and teal duel? Ooh, nope. But that would be kind of a neat color blend. Co-extrusion of orange and teal. That would be a pretty drastic contrast, and I really like drastic contrasts. I have not seen a like a teal orange though. That would be an interesting color combination. So cool. Well, let's go do this resume review. Actually, no, we're gonna draw a name. We're gonna draw a name. Let's go draw a name for one of the giveaways. We still have the poll going for the dragon, so we're gonna do a giveaway for one of the laser etching. And you will need to be present in chat. So we'll see how many entries we got. Hey, Antosha, good to see you. So get in on the giveaway. We've only got 4 people entered. We got way more than that actually viewing. We got a couple of viewers over on Kick. Again, if you want to get in on the giveaway, you will need to come over to Twitch. We've also got, we had one person viewing on YouTube for a little while, but nobody over on YouTube right now. But we are going to get into interview prep and do a resume review here in a moment. But we are going to give away a laser etch of some kind. Again, I've got keychains and I've got these really cool big discs that I'm starting to etch and do cutouts and things like that we'll get into some interesting things. So we're going to draw for that. Meanwhile, you can also go vote on the poll over in chat for which of the dragons we're going to give away. So far, the Neptune Blue is now the winner. So for the laser etch, I've got signs like this that we can give away. House runs on love and laughter, or bless this home with love and laughter. I've got lots of these. It doesn't have to be this one, but if you want one of these, I can give one of these away. One of these is kind of a test print because I started etching on the back, and it turned out that the software mirrored it, so I reprinted again. But then I also figured out how to cut these little holes in it as well, so you can hang it up on the wall. So we've got those. We've also got keychains. I've got blank keychains in a rectangle and in a circle that I can custom etch with something on it. I do have a couple that are kind of pre-made with little sayings like, "We may not have it all together, but together we have it all." We've got another one here that says, "Happiness is homemade." We've got another one with just the word "family" written across. If you're looking for like a cool Mother's Day kind of gift, I've got those. I've also got some with just little emoji faces, like a little sus face. What are some other ones here? Also found the little, goofy, crazy emoji And on the back, I'm like, oh, where did I leave my keys? And it's like right where you left them. So I've got keychains like that. So I got a bag of those keychains that we can kind of dig into if you're looking for a gift for Mother's Day coming up. And then, yeah, we've got the dragon. We'll draw for the dragon in a little bit. We're going to draw right now for a laser etch. So exclamation point giveaway if you want to get on that. When we get the bots working on Kik, I mean, whenever Kik comes up with an API, I'll be the first in line to integrate that as well. So we'll see how long it takes them. They do have like at least one bot company that is working with them. I forget what it's called, it's like BixBot or something like that. But I think it went offline, to be honest, because I haven't seen it spam my Twitch channel here. It was actually spamming Twitch instead of Kik, even though I was trying to activate it on Kik and not on Twitch. So I'm not sure what happened. It seems to be offline now. So I don't know whether their API broke or if they're still in kind of the transition of building the thing. I'm not really sure. So, all right, well, let's do a giveaway for a laser etch. So we're going to do a giveaway daily. I'm going to go pull up my Airtable for that. Oops, I didn't want to move over there. Okay. Stream window, there we are. All right, hey, it's Derek. If you are still around, hey, it's Derek. You have won a laser etch of some kind. Let me know in chat that you're still around, and we will get you in on the giveaway. It's getting a bit late, so bye and congrats. Thanks for dropping by, learner. So hey, it's Derek. If you're still around, I'm not sure which Derek you are, or I would try to ping you in the Turing Slack. Yeah, there are too many Dereks to know which Derek you are. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to locate you on Slack. But if we don't hear from you in a few seconds, I'm going to go ahead and redraw. And again, I'm only redrawing a maximum of 3 times. And so if you enter the giveaway, you got to hang out for when I do the drawing. Because if you're not here in chat to tell me what you want, then you will forfeit your giveaway. So we'll give you a few more seconds, and then I'm going to go ahead and redraw, and then we'll do this resume review. So while we're waiting, I'm going to go get that resume review all prepped up and ready to view. Again, I only had one public resume review come in. If you do want a resume review, feel free to go follow this link over in chat. All right, so it looks like Neptune Blue is going to be the dragon that we give away. So thanks everybody for voting on that. We will absolutely give that one away today. All right, let's see. So we had a public resume review come in. Urgent. This is my first resume ever. I'm about to start applying. Just want some feedback for an entry-level type of role for front-end software developer. Okay. And no other context. So they tried to anonymize it, but then they left their real LinkedIn and GitHub profiles on there. So we are going to see their name. They did check the checkbox saying it's okay to show it as is. So we are going to see their real name in their LinkedIn and their GitHub profile. They did mask out the email and the phone number, but we are going to see their real name on other parts of this. So we'll download this PDF and we'll have a look at it here in just a moment. All right, so we didn't hear back, so let's do another giveaway daily. And we'll give away something laser etched. Get a little drum roll going here. Hey, Antosha, I know you're in chat. You were just here just a moment ago. So congratulations. So you're the recipient of something laser engraved. So you've got the choice. You got a choice. I can do something really big for you like this that you can hang on the wall, or I can do like a keychain, or if you want to choose your own little sign, I do have I do have like little 4x4 inch cards. I've also got 4 inch by 6 inch cards, so a little bit longer, where I can just do like a little customized sign, and you can go pick from a catalog of like a couple of hundred designs, where you can go pick what you want laser etched. And so you can decide if you want one of these that I've already made, I can get this out right away. If you want one of these keychains that I've already made, again, I can get those out right away. If you want something custom engraved on a keychain, like your initials or your name or something like that, happy to do that. So these are nice, thick wooden keychains, and you just have to tell me if you want like a round one or a rectangular one, and then I'll need like shipping information and stuff like that. So let me know in chat what you would prefer, and then you can send me a Twitch whisper with like your name and your address, and we can chat a little bit more offline about if you want something customized. We can chat offline about that. So either way, send me a Twitch whisper with your name and your address, and then you can let us know whether you want something I've already got pre-made, or if you want something customized. All right, so let's get this resume going here. Let me pull up the resume. They did send it as a docx file. Typically, I tell people like send me a PDF file, because when I pull this up in Google Drive, it's sometimes going to like really alter the formatting of it. So we'll see what this is going to look like here in Google Drive, and we'll go do a quick resume review for this person. Again, they actually no, kept the layout pretty good. Again, this person anonymized the name and the title of the resume, but they actually left their real name on their GitHub and their LinkedIn profile. But we'll go take a look at this resume here. So let's switch over to this screen, and we'll go find the correct browser window for this. I'm pretty sure, well, let me just double check which one this is actually going to show here. I want to make sure that I show the correct one. Make this a little bigger for everybody, so you can all see what I see. So thankfully, Google Drive is already zoomed out on this. What I like to do when I do resume reviews, I kind of like to see like what's the layout of the whole page. I like to see kind of like how well are they using the space on the page. In this case, I think this top margin is quite large. I think you could probably shrink up this top margin quite a bit and get your name up closer to the top of the page. And then that'll leave you a lot of room down at the bottom if you want to add an additional project or something like that on here. I think that would also be really handy. They've got a Battleship game, they've got a Rambot game, and they've got Where's Teemo. It's a Where's Waldo type of video game based on League of Legends. Okay. So they've got a skills block, they've got an education block, then they've got project work. No work experience of any kind on the resume. So we'll talk a little bit about that kind of as we go. So again, I would shrink up this top margin. That'll give you room down at the bottom for other things. We'll talk about kind of the skills block that you've got here and your education. Looks like they just finished a bachelor's degree, but they also have an associate's degree in computer science. So I think it's fine to list both of those, and then they've got their projects on here as well. So we'll dive in a little bit on each of these. All right, so let's zoom in. So again, they anonymized their name, but then they left their real name in the GitHub link and the LinkedIn link. But let's dive in here on their skills. So it's in the resume review form that they filled out. They said that they were looking for their first job. Let me just pull this up again. So it's my first resume ever. I'm about to start applying, and I just want some feedback. And that's all they mentioned. They're looking for an internship, entry level, junior level, software engineer, something on front end. So that's the only context that they gave. Normally, I would ask like if there's a particular job post that you're applying for, you can send that as well. I think the left and right margin looks like they're set as 1-inch margins right now. Again, I think you could probably adjust that to be a little bit smaller. But for the first time resume ever, it's a pretty clean layout. So let's talk a little bit more about this. So having JavaScript and TypeScript, I love that you remember to put a capital S on these technologies. I think that's fine. You're listing SQL as a language. It's typically not going to come up, though, as a front-end developer that you know SQL. The fact that you've got Firebase and MongoDB on here, I think it'd be fine. But if you're really looking for a front-end job, I probably wouldn't worry too much about putting databases on here. This shows more of an interest in full-stack development. but we'll talk about that kind of as we go. You've got React on here. So React is react.js. So we always want to make sure that we name the technologies properly. In this case, it is just React. I thought it was react.js. Okay, so just React. Okay, so that's fine. You got Tailwind, CSS, you got Jest, React Router, Tan, Stack, Query, Bootstrap, Supabase, Firebase, Mongoose. So Firebase is its own database. So if you're going to list Firebase on here, I would probably move Firebase down here in your databases because Firebase is, well, it doesn't have to just be a database. I mean, Firebase does a lot of other things, but Firebase is traditionally known as being a database. That's why Google bought them back in the day. I actually knew somebody who worked at Firebase, or sorry, they worked at Google. They quit at Google to go work on Firebase, and then Google bought Firebase. So they ended up being a Google employee again. Otherwise, I think some of these technologies are okay. You generally don't want to have something just wrap over like one line. So I would probably find a way to like split these out a little bit more. You might want to put languages and frameworks together, where you've got like JavaScript, TypeScript, React, HTML, CSS, Tailwind, and then I would just leave SQL by itself. And then I would have just libraries where you would list like React Router, Jest. And then if you're going to do databases, I would probably do like TanStack, Supabase, Firebase, Postgres, MongoDB as its own kind of thing. So I should have access to modify this. So let's show you how I would do this. So we're going to do frameworks. We're going to have this kind of thing going on here. So we've got this, and then we've got Tailwind, CSS, and Bootstrap, and then SQL. And then here we're just going to have like libraries. So we're going to take out the things here that we already mentioned above, and we'll take out Bootstrap from here. But now we can see that this libraries thing is actually going to be pretty small if I take all of these out and move these down with the databases. So we could do libraries and databases together, where now we've got all of these things. And then I would probably do things like, what is TanStack? I've never heard of this. TanStack query. React query. It kind of sounded like it was going to be a database kind of tool. Data fetching for the web. Okay, so that's not. That's just, it's kind of a fetch sort of tool. Supabase, let's go look at that one up. Supabase. Open source Firebase alternative. So again, that's a database, Mongoose, and then you got Postgres. So none of these libraries had, well, other than Mongoose. Mongoose is an ORM, but these are actual databases. So what I was trying to imagine here is like, what tool have you used to talk to Postgres? Because Mongoose is going to be used with MongoDB. Supabase and Firebase are their own databases. So if we move these down to here, so let's do this. So the other thing is, if you've done backend, where you've done like JavaScript and TypeScript, where you've dealt with Mongoose and MongoDB, you probably have things like Node.js and Express.js. Even if you're not looking for full stack kind of work, the fact that you really want to add all this database stuff on here, I would probably also add like Node and Express if you've done that kind of backend stuff. I could go peek at your GitHub to go find that out. But yeah, I would probably leave these things down here. And then Mongoose, we'll put next to MongoDB. So that way they'll see this is a mix of databases and tooling and things like that. And then you've got GitHub kind of by itself. So that's how I might try to rearrange some of these skills. If you've got other libraries and whatever, I would start listing those out in here as well. So you got your school, you've got your graduation date. I would put the location here. So Miami, Florida, and you can take the bold off of that one. Miami, Florida, and I'll show you why. It's a little bit cleaner if we take this out. As far as like trying to see what that timeline is, Now these dates are a little more isolated over here on the right edge. You know, it's a little bit easier to kind of skim down and see these dates and see when you graduated and so on, as opposed to having the location in here as well, because then you actually have to be a little more careful about like reading these things. You've got project work on here, which is good. Let me go adjust the page setup on here, because again, I think these top and bottom margins could be. We'll leave those at 1-inch margins for now. Oh, what happened there? Let's try that again. Page setup. Oh, there we go. 0.5, 0.5. Here. Change some of that up here. Let's try this again. Page setup. 0.5 and 0.5. Didn't change that at all. All right. Yep. Strange. So it looks like they use some sort of resume template or something that doesn't allow you to adjust some of that. The outline. So why won't it let us adjust that? If I change that to 0.25, yeah, it doesn't change that spacing at all on here. Okay. Not gonna tinker with it, but I would probably change it so that you don't have like this really big heading here. Like if I scroll down just a little bit, like this is kind of where you want the top of the page to be relative to your name. Like you want that to be like not like right at the very top of the page, but having that much room is like a lot of wasted room at the top of the page. So I probably want to shrink that up to where your name kind of shows up about here relative to the top of the page. That'll give you more room down here at the bottom. Education otherwise looks fine. If we talk about your projects, I love that you've got a demo site on here as well as a repository. I think that having a demo link on here is fantastic. Letting me experience the things that you've built is a really great idea. I love that you've got an explanation about what the project is. I would probably drop this tech stack down here to the bottom though. So let me show you how I would do this. I would typically do that in italics, and then I would do like a tech stack thing here where I put in the actual technologies I used. Because to me as a hiring manager, not every hiring manager is going to feel this way, but to me as a hiring manager, seeing some kind of user empathy statement about like what you built and why you built it, like who you built it for, is more important to me than the technologies that you use to build the project in the first place. So I would love to see the tech stack down here at the bottom where giving me this user empathy statement about like, this is what I built and why. I would love to see that kind of first and foremost. That's just my preference. Everyone's going to be a little bit different as far as like what they prefer. But this would be the typical way that I would build this out, and just put the tech stack down here at the bottom. You can take the italic off of that. So again, I love that you got a demo. I love that you got a repo on here. You're telling me like what you built, but in this case, so you're giving me a pretty good user empathy. Users have to find hidden characters in various pictures. That's fine. Multi-purpose Discord bot. So Discord is a capital D, which includes an economy system where users can use and earn money playing games like blackjack, slots, Wordle, trivia, and more. Okay. And then a web app based on the classic board game Battleship, allowing users to play against the computer for an entertaining gameplay experience. So these are all really good as user experience types of statements. Like this is what I built and who it's for. I think it did a good job there. Bullet points: implemented a multi-level system with varying difficulties for users to choose from. Okay, stored level data in Firestore for easy level updates that automatically reflect on the front end. Okay, added a timing feature to record users' level completion. So you're talking about like individual users here. So I would do for a user to choose from, and then I would make this the possessive here, apostrophe S. Added a timing feature to record a user's level completion time and display them on the leaderboard. Built a champion picker component that dynamically positions itself based on user clicks, improving user experience by preventing it from going off screen. Okay. Cool. And then yeah, just making sure that technologies are spelled right, but this all looks good. Rambot, so self-hosted on a Raspberry Pi, reducing hosting costs, allowing for more server control. Okay. Implemented a streamline. So the problem with hosting that on a Raspberry Pi is this demo site actually going to work? Like, how is this actually reaching your Raspberry Pi over the internet to actually try to run this game? Implemented a streamlined continuous integration, continuous deployment pipeline using GitHub Actions. So GitHub Actions needs to be up here for sure. GitHub Actions, that's definitely a technology you want to call out. And GitHub Actions will be a capital A, and runner for seamless code integration, deployment, maintenance. Okay. Utilize the NoSQL database to store leaderboard. Yep, that's all fine there. And then use test-driven development for an easier implementation of the game logic. I don't know that TDD makes implementation easier. TDD is really, you know when something's not working. So the idea of test-driven development is you're building your test so that as you're building your code, you know when the code is finished. That doesn't make the implementation easier. Oops. Go away, Grammarly. It doesn't make your implementation easier. So I think rewording this would be important here. So use test-driven development. I would just say for implementation of the game logic. Because TDD doesn't make it easier. You just know when you're done. That way you're not like producing features that you don't need, or you're not producing code you don't need. Because when we're in writing code, you'll be like, oh, I should add this thing. That'll be really cool. But when you're doing test-driven development, you're only building what you need to build. But that doesn't make it easier to implement the game logic. It's just you know when you're finished. That's all. Implemented responsive design to ensure optimal user experience across all devices. Okay. Yep. So all of this works well. So the fact that, you know, if you can clean up this top header here to where that like pushes up a little bit. Another thing you might want to do here is consider like a subheading for yourself, and we'll make this one a little bit smaller, and you'll call yourself like front-end developer. You know, give yourself a title of some kind up in here. You got your email, your phone number, you got your GitHub, LinkedIn, those are fine. Although I'd probably lose the trailing slash on that one, so it looks just like your GitHub. So if you can shrink up that top header, it'll give you a little more room down here at the bottom. It would be good to see if you've had any kind of job in the past, even if it's like retail or working in the restaurant industry or something, to show me that you've had some kind of employment, that you've had some amount of like trust given to you as an employee of any kind. And Tosha, yeah, if you want to submit a resume, feel free. Here's the link for it if you want to send that over. I would love to see like any kind of work experience, even if it's not related. I usually tell people, like, when you build a resume, build a big resume with all of your work experience, every library, every project you've ever done, not just the stuff you want to show. Because when you send a resume to a company, you want it to be stuff that they care about. So for example, if you're going to go apply for a job at Discord, I would put this project first. And I would also say that you've used like some sort of Discord bot. Like, I bet if I go look at your repo for this, you're using other libraries that you don't talk about. So if we go look at your package.json, I bet that there's a Discord API types and Discord.js. So let's get Discord.js on here. You've also got .env on here. So you've got Discord.js. So go find these libraries that you use in your projects and get more of these on your actual resume. Currency system, ASCII table. So maybe those aren't going to be important, but you've got all this Discord.js stuff. Like, get that stuff in there. If we go look at some of your other projects, let's go see what else we can find. So we had that Battleship game as well. Go look at your package.json for that. Nope, just jest on that one. Okay. And then I like that you've got a bunch of them pinned up here. You got Where's Timo? Let's go take a look at that one. Let's go take a look at the package.json for this. Look at all these libraries you got in here. ESLint, config Airbnb. Oh, okay, cool. So these are just linters that Airbnb have made, which is fine. PostCSS, Prettier, Tailwind, TypeScript. Not sure what Vite is. But yeah, all of these are fine. By the way, can you all hear the vacuuming going on upstairs right now? I don't know if you can all hear what's going on above me. Not sure how well this microphone is filtering out background noise, but let me know in chat if you can hear any background noise. No? Okay, good. I always worry about that. So we got Firebase, we got React, React DOM, React Router DOM, React Query. You've also got a profanity filter on there, which is great. Audio's all good? So, hey, Juggling, good to see you. Cool. So you definitely want to go through your projects and try to find like these major projects that you've done, and find these like major libraries that you're using and get these on your resume. You don't have to list every single one of these, although you do tend to use these ones a lot, which is fine. My worry as a hiring manager, when I see a lot of these kinds of things where you're using like linters and prettifiers and things like that, it's like, are you writing really ugly code that you need libraries to actually go make your code readable? That's one thing I worry about as a hiring manager and a lead dev when I look at a resume and I look at projects that include these kinds of things. It's like, do you have to use these libraries to make your code readable? That it gives me the impression that you write really awful looking code and you need these libraries to make it readable for other people to actually read your code. So I might actually go in and like remove these things after the fact. So use this in a dev channel, but then once you get ready to actually start doing the stuff for real and you're confident about the layout, remove these from your projects or from like your package.json. Otherwise, it can give the impression that, yeah, I write really ugly code and I need all of these linters. Look at all these linters in here to make my code pretty, like one prettifier, another prettifier. So you're using 4 different things to go back and like make your code readable. That tells me you write really awful code and that you're relying on these tools to make your code like readable. It may not be the case, but that's the impression that it can give. So I would be careful about like leaving these things in long term. I would go in and actually remove these after the fact once you're sure your code's working and so on. But go through each of your repos. Look through these package JSONs or whatever package manager you're using for whatever language you're using, and get these technologies on your resume. Now, not all of these technologies are going to matter to all of the companies where you apply for a job. And so again, depending on the company that you're going to go apply to, you're going to rearrange these skills. You're going to rearrange your projects. And so it's really hard to make a one-size-fits-all kind of resume. And I would caution, like, making a single resume that you're sending out to every job is not really the right way to go. It's the fastest way to go if you're just looking to like blast a bunch of resumes out there to apply for like 100 jobs a week. Yeah, you can, but it's really obvious to us as hiring managers when we get a generic resume. Like if I was Discord and you were applying for a job and I see your Discord project like way down here at the bottom and I see this Discord.js like way at the end of the line, that tells me you've made a generic resume where you're including this as a keyword, but it's not important to you to sort of showcase this. If you're applying for a job at Discord, this thing better be like the first one in the list. You want to show that stuff like very prominently. You want to show like, I'm really proud of this Discord thing. Like that would be the very first project that you would list here. You would move this up here to the very top. And then you happen to have these other projects, but like this is the one front and center that you want me to see. So it's important that you rearrange these things based on the company where you're applying for a job. You're going to stand out a lot more. And so by making a resume where you're listing all of your projects, all of your technologies, all of your skills, all of your background work, even if it's not technology related, it gives you the freedom then to actually go customize resume. Westry rating in with 17 people. Hello, Westry. Thanks for dropping by. So by rating in, Westry has been put in a special giveaway just for folks that rate into my channel. I draw that from a separate giveaway once a quarter. But thanks for coming in. Hello, everybody. We've got some more giveaways to do today. We're just wrapping up a resume review here, and then we're going to do some more giveaways. But we gave away a laser etch. We've got several 3D printed dragons and lots of really cool Polymaker filaments and Amylin filaments that I'll show here in a moment. And we're going to give one of those away. We've got a second laser etch that we're going to give away. And I've also got the Boba Fett ship that I airbrushed. I've been meaning to give this away for a couple of weeks and never got around to it. So we've got a lot of stuff to give away today. So thanks for coming in. We have a new raid call. Very, very cool. Well, thanks for coming in, everybody. Appreciate you dropping by. Hey, Subsector, good to see you. Subsector, I don't know if you've been paying attention on the Bambu P1P, but the customizable thing that doesn't have a shell. Somebody actually made a Borg shell for the Bambu P1P, and it looks amazing. Somebody printed it out in like a galaxy black or like a really cool charcoal gray, and it's got like all the bumpy exterior of like a Borg ship, and it looks absolutely amazing. Like every time I see that like showing up in my timeline, I'm like, I wonder if Subsector has seen that one yet. Yeah, it looks really cool. It looks really, really neat. Like I don't own a P1P, but I kind of want to get a P1P just for that. I bet I could get my wife into 3D printing if I bought her a P1P and I made that Borg shell. She actually asked me a while back. She's like, "Hey, can you make like a little tissue holder box?" She wanted like a little garbage can for her bathroom counter, and actually found a Borg cube tissue box, and I basically just stretched it and made like a big columnar sort of like garbage can kind of thing. But it's got the Borg exterior on it, and she got a kick out of that. So you need a Bambu. We all need Bambus in our life. Bambu printers are pretty great. They have their drawbacks, but they are really, really good. So you want a P1P so you can have the Star Trek thing? I mean, you probably just want a P1P. They're nice and fast. Anyway, so I was just finishing explaining on the resume review here that when you make a really big resume, you can add all your skills. You can add, any other education that you've got, any other certifications. You can add all of your projects. You can have all of your background work and jobs and whatever. And you make this really big resume. And then when you go to apply for a job, you shrink it back down to one page by taking out all the stuff that particular company doesn't care about. And again, you're going to reorganize this. So in this case, this RAM bot, this Discord bot that this person had made, they had it farther down on the list. But if you're going to go apply for a job at Discord, you want to put that at the top. You want them to see that and go, "Oh, cool, you know all about building stuff with Discord." You're way more likely to get a phone call from them than if you like bury it way down at the bottom. But also going through all your projects and making sure that your skills block is full of all the different technologies that you use, so that when you go back and you make that one-page resume and you start trimming stuff out that job isn't going to care about for that job post and the skills that they're looking for at that job, you can start removing that stuff. And then you get it back down to one page. Cool. Well, thanks for sending in that resume. Again, if anybody else wants a resume review, you're welcome to send that over as well. We are streaming over on YouTube and we are streaming over on Kick as well. We've got a couple of viewers over on Kick. If you want to get in on the giveaway, you will need to come over to Twitch. Sorry, wrong screen. You will need to come over to Twitch to do the exclamation point giveaway. We've only got a couple of entries for the day, so you still got really, really good chance of being drawn for something today. So we have an etched item for today. So when you do a Bang giveaway, it'll say like, "Oh, we already drew for the day," but we're drawing multiple names today because I haven't streamed in almost 2 weeks. So we got a handful of things. I do want to show off some of these other Polymaker filaments again. So this is their Starlight line. I've got all three of them, and I made dragons in all three. This one is their Mercury filament. They name them after planets. And this one is a really cool silver with a really neat lavender, and there's also a very faint hint of blue kind of running through this. The light doesn't show the blue, but at a particular angle I did see it. But it's a really cool like silver lavender kind of color, and I'm going to get some pictures of this in the sunshine a little bit later today. But this is one of them, and they whatever voodoo magic they're mixing in their filaments. The color change, based on sort of how you position it and how you look at it, are coming out beautiful. So we got the Mercury one. We did a vote earlier, and the vote was that we're going to give away the Neptune dragon today. So the Neptune is a really cool like medium aqua color. It shows up much darker on the camera here, but the color shift change on this is a really cool like bright aqua green to mix in with this dark aqua color, so it's kind of this blue aqua. So whoever's like mixing these colors over there, whatever pixie dust and unicorn fart stuff they're putting in is amazing. And so we're going to be giving away this dragon today. That was the one that everybody voted on. And then they've got their Jupiter filament. The Jupiter one, when I first opened it, I'm like, this is a really hideous, like, it's almost a butterscotch kind of orange color. But as it starts printing, you get this really cool, like dark copper gold kind of sheen. And this one actually shows up the best. So the little paw over here, you see kind of this dark copper coming in. You see more of the gold on the chest. And it looks amazing. Like, now that I've actually seen this printing, I'm like, okay, I actually really, really like this filament, which is good because I've got like 3 spools of this. I got another 2 spools of this coming. I've got 2 spools of the Neptune, and I got 2 more coming. And I've got 2 spools of the Mercury with another 2 coming. So I got a lot of this Starlight filament on the way. So we'll be doing lots and lots of dragons and other stuff, not just dragons. So that's those are the Polymaker filaments. And then I'm also a big fan of Amolin. That's no surprise to anybody that sees me 3D print. This is a 3-color rainbow that they came up with, and it is blue, red, and purple. So this is their red, blue, purple rainbow filament. They do mostly like rainbow transition filaments, but they've also got a co-extrusion that I want to show off as well. This is another, nope, that's a co-extrusion. That's a co-extrusion. Here we go. We'll show you the co-extrusion one here in a moment. This is another one they made. This is a black, red, purple rainbow filament. So it's a very dark blend, but it goes from like a nice charcoal black into a red and a purple. Unfortunately, they transition from the purple into the black really quickly, and so you get this very drastic color change here. But it blends really nicely from the black into the purple into the red, and then it like really drastically like switches back. But they do a really nice job with their filaments. It's a nice silk kind of filament. And then they came out with another one, and this one I think is going to compete with the Prusament Mystic Green. They call this one gold, and if I hold it just right, you can see some of the gold sort of flake and glitter and stuff come through on the camera. But it's mostly like a deep kind of green color, but at just the right light, you can see in the horns on the head, you get that really nice gold shimmer effect coming through on the head up here. And that just kind of radiates all through the dragon. There's a really good shot of the gold on the top of the head here. So that's what you see, you know, kind of with the color shift, is you get this really cool gold color. So I've got, I think I've got 2 spools of this one. And then they came out with a co-extrusion. And co-extrusions are a little bit random because, you know, the filament can twist while you're printing. But then sometimes you end up with really cool striping effects. They came out with one which is a black and red co-extrusion. So red on one side, black on the other. And then you get these random stripes as the filament tends to twist. But I love the really sharp contrast colors where it's like one drastic color into another drastic color. And they put black and red together. And I saw this online. I'm like, I got to pick some of that up as well. So I made 2 dragons in that. We're eventually going to give all these dragons away. Today we're going to give away the Neptune one. If you twist my arm and like start a hype train or something, I'll give a second dragon away. But yeah, the changes on these are great. Hey, Pezlis, good to see you. Hey, Mr. Rick, first time chat. You skipped on that one, but now I regret it. Go get it. It's really, really nice. Yabberjack says it looks ugly on the site, but I've seen some prints that look okay. Yeah, I mean, the Polymaker, like the Jupiter one, it looks really bland. Like you open up the package and you're like, this looks like a really bland kind of butterscotch sort of like Dijon sort of kind of color. But once you start printing with it and you get kind of that color shift, you're like, oh, dang, like this is actually really, really nice. But at first glance, it's kind of But once you print it out, it's pretty sweet. So I'm pretty excited. I literally pulled these off the printers this morning. I'm going to get them outside in the sunshine this afternoon and get some pictures out in the sunshine. I'll get them up on the Instagram. If you want to go check out my Instagram, you will see pictures of the monthly giveaway that we're giving away, which is this big fella. Again, the colors don't really do this justice because it's so much light. But I've got some really good close-up pictures of this here in the workshop. It's actually on top of my freezer. but we're going to be giving this away on May 13th. Originally, I was going to end the giveaway today, but because I didn't stream very much over the past 2 weeks, we had a bunch of like family and life stuff come up that impacted how much I was able to stream, which I feel really bad about. So we're doing a bunch of giveaways today, and we're going to do a bunch of giveaways on Tuesday and Thursday this week, and we're going to carry those giveaways into May. So May the 11th, I'll be streaming. That's a Thursday. And then I'm going to stream on the 13th as a special stream where we give away the dragon, this big, big dragon. I'm also licensed to sell this dragon model. So if anybody just wants a print of that in a solid color, maybe one of those Polymaker filaments, let me know. If you want it custom airbrushed, I'll be starting on some commissions as soon as I finish this other commission one. I did this one in a resin. It started out kind of this bland color, and I'm like gradually going in and airbrushing that. And then at Rocky Mountain, I actually got a coupon code that someone actually printed on a block of resin. So they made this cool little Star Wars kind of thing. And on this side, it had all this writing. And I'm like, what is all this writing? It's like standard 8K resin, 4 kilogram jug, dark cool gray. I'm like, okay, so they make this gray resin, like big deal. But it had a code on here. I'm like, what's this code for? So I went to the website, I found the filament, found the 4K jug. And it's interesting that they're measuring it in kilograms and not liters, but whatever. It's a 4 kilogram jug. And I put in the coupon code, and it was like a $73 jug of resin. And the coupon code made it free. You just had to pay for the shipping. So for $14 of shipping, I got this massive jug of dark gray resin. So I'm going to be printing the heck out of those dragons in resin. It's going to be really nice in that dark gray color if you want to go in and you want to paint it, or if you want me to just put an airbrush primer coat on it or something. Let me know if you're interested in getting that, and I'm going to start like mass producing those dragons, because this is a really, really nice dark gray resin, and now I got a boatload of resin that I can use. So yeah, if you can make it to those RepRap festivals, they're definitely worth it for the giveaways and the coupon codes and stuff like that. Speaking of giveaways, exclamation point giveaway. We're going to do a drawing. So the other thing that I've got are laser engravings. I've got lots of little custom signs that I can make. I've got 4x4 inch cards. I've got 4x6 inch cards. I've also been experimenting with much larger laser etching, as well as figuring out how to cut holes and things. And this stuff's thick. This stuff is like 6 millimeters thick. And the new laser engraver I bought like cut through this like it was butter. It was great. And so I've got a couple of these really large signs, or I've got custom keychains where I've got things like, funny little emoji faces, the goofy thing. And where did I leave my keys? Right where you left them. So I can do round and I can do rectangular style. So if anyone's looking for like a Mother's Day gift, I've got a handful of these already etched with things like family. This one says, we may not have it all together, but together we have it all. And then I've got another one here that says, happiness is homemade. So if anyone's looking for a Mother's Day gift, because Mother's Day is coming up, I will get these out to you as well. So we've got some laser engravings. We've got this kind of style with the emoji face. Or if you want something custom etched, if you just want like your name or your initials or something like that, these are nice, thick keychains. These are really, really nice. Or I've got a whole catalog of like hundreds and hundreds of designs that I can engrave on these as well. I've got funny things and sarcastic things and motivational things and family quotes and kitchen quotes and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to draw a bunch more names. So we're going to draw a bunch of stuff. So get in on the giveaway. And you're going to have your choice for the laser engraving. We're going to do one more drawing for the laser engraving. We're going to do one drawing for the dragon. And then we're going to do a drawing for the Boba Fett ship. So feel free to get in on the giveaway. We'll give all that stuff away. Hey, Mr. Rick says, I want a fiber laser, but it's out of the budget. I mean, fiber is great if you want to cut metal. Like if you're literally looking to like cut through metal, I think the fiber laser is good. But if you're just looking to like etch things on wood, a diode laser is all you need. I've got a 5-watt that I've been using. A company sent me a review unit, and they said if you can make a certain amount of video content, then you can keep it. And they reached out to me this past week, and they're like, we're happy with the amount of video content that you've made. You've met your obligation. If you want to keep making more, that'd be great, but you don't have to. I'm going to keep making more because it was really very generous of them to send a review unit. That's the Atazer P5. It's a 5-watt diode laser. I bought my own Xtool D1 Pro, which has a 10 watt, a 20 watt, and a 40 watt. I also picked up the 20 watt infrared to etch onto metal. I don't plan on cutting metal, but that's the only reason that I would want like a fiber laser. So if I was actually cutting through like sheet metal, but I don't anticipate doing that anytime soon. What did I miss? Someone's saying if you want to try Polymaker, you can. I mean, lots of streamers. So Westery, Pezliz, Polymaker themselves stream here on Twitch. They all give away Polymaker filament. Actually, Westery gives away Ziltech. But there are a handful like Zombie Hedgehog, Loyal Moses. Like there are a bunch of channels that give away tons of Polymaker filament. If you want to try it out, I also got on one of the channels. I think I won it on Polymaker's channel. I got a coupon code for some Polymaker, and then I won a giveaway on Pezliz's channel. I also won a roll of filament on Loyal Moses' channel, and it's weird because I think Stream Elements, they've got like this weird thing in their system where it's not purely random. If you can start winning on a Stream Elements giveaway, like go enter everybody's giveaway on Stream Elements because you're more likely to like win a bunch over a short amount of time. Because within the past week, I've won on 4 different streams. Loyal Moses, Pezliz, Polymaker, and someone else. But I won 4 spools of filament just through Stream Elements on. But then those are the first filaments I've won on stream for like 5 months, and I'm constantly going and dropping in on people's streams and like entering giveaways and stuff. And so it's like feast or famine with Stream Elements. But I kind of feel like once you start winning with Stream Elements, you're going to keep winning over and over. Maybe the universe knows I needed a boost. No, Pezliz, I've got like probably close to 150 spools of filament. I don't need more filament. I just like entering just for the heck of it. But it does feel like Stream Elements is not random. And that's why I wrote my own. I wrote my own chatbot, giveaway bot, because I have better control over the randomness of it. And I've got a feeling that they've got some kind of influence in their system that is biasing something based on the amount you chat or the amount of engagement that you do on a Twitch stream, something. But I find that once you start winning on Stream Elements, you can literally go enter everybody's giveaway and you'll start winning on everybody's giveaway. It's the same thing with the lock tools. If you see the little monster thing where it draws and you see all the names spinning, and same thing with that. Like Moko Made, whose team I'm a part of for makers, they did like a week-long giveaway thing. They gave away like 500 things or something. And the people on lock tools that were winning, they kept winning. And the people that didn't win kept not winning. So there's some kind of influence thing going on in those systems where it's not purely random. And that's why I built my own. I wanted mine to be purely random. So, and I've done code walkthroughs on my stream like a bunch of times. Like, here's how my code works. Here's how it's building up all the entries that you get. And here's how it's choosing the winners and, all that kind of stuff. So basically for the giveaway that I do, when you do exclamation point giveaway, it puts you in the giveaway for today. And you only have to enter that one time. It also gives you an entry into the monthly giveaway for the big blue dragon that we're giving away on May 13th. And basically what happens for that, all the monthly entries, so let's say Pezliz gets in there 10 times, and Jay Brinker gets in there 10 times, and Hey Mr. Rick gets in there 5 times. It basically puts all of your names that many times in a list, and then it randomizes that list, and then it randomly picks from that list. And so the more entries you have, the more likely it's going to draw your name, but it doesn't put them all in a clump all in one spot in that list. It randomizes the list, and then it draws randomly from that list. And so the more entries you have, the better your chances, but it is purely random because I randomize things so many times. And so when I pull them out of the database, it's randomized. When I put them in that list, it's randomized, and then it scrambles that list, and then it randomly draws out of that. So I've done code walkthroughs to explain like how that works, because I want people to see I'm not influencing anything about how I do my giveaways and my drawings and things like that. I think it's really important. And I'm actually going to be rebuilding that whole giveaway bot in StreamerBot for other streamers that do giveaways that use StreamerBot. So they'll be able to control that, and it's going to be purely random. You're not going to be, well, unless they go in and tinker with the code, they're not going to be able to influence how those giveaways happen. And I think that that's really important. I think it's important that people know that there's not this weird thing like Stream Elements where, over the past week I won a bunch of stuff and now I'm not going to win anything no matter how many things I go enter on all these different streams. I'm not going to win anything for like 3 more months. Which is fine. I don't go hang out just for all the free stuff. Free stuff is nice. But I also go to help out for like why people are doing giveaways in the first place. Which brings us to why am I doing all these giveaways in the first place? So I'm raising money for this company called Unloop. And I'm constantly doing fundraisers on my stream. I'm going to divert attention here for a little bit and then we'll do a giveaway. But I am raising money for Unloop. And today's the last day for Unloop. I'm doing like 4-month giveaway or fundraisers. So at the end of the stream today, I'm going to match all of the donations that come into Unloop. We're sitting around $400 right now. The community goal is $1,000. Whenever we hit the community goal or at the end of 4 months, whichever comes first, we roll over to the next giveaway recipient. So if you want to contribute to Unloop, that would be fantastic. I go through and I vet these companies. I look at how they use their money. I don't just blindly go, oh, there's a charity, let's raise money for them. I look for companies whose primary mission it is to increase diversity in the tech industry. Unloop does that by finding people who have been incarcerated find jobs in the tech industry. It's a little bit harder for folks that have been in prison because they're already very much sort of discriminated against for having that as part of their background. But I believe that diversity in tech is more about ethnicity and skin color and so on. It's also life experience. And so I really appreciate that Unloop is using their money effectively to make this happen. I've gone through and I've looked at so many like nonprofit groups where they're like, we raised $1 million and like 800,000 of that $1 million paid the salaries of the people at the organization. So at the end of the day, they only gave $200,000 back to the community to actually meet whatever mission that they're trying to meet. And to me, that doesn't feel good. That doesn't mean that as a nonprofit, you can't pay people for their work. But when your CEO of that company is making $300,000 or $400,000 of that $800,000, that's a problem for me. And so I think salaries can be reasonable. You can still make a really good living on running a nonprofit organization. But I think for the kinds of companies that I want to raise money for, I go through and I vet who these companies are and how they spend their money. And I put I'm not going to lie, I put a bit of my own judgment call on how well I think they're doing, how long have they been around. I look at all kinds of things about their finances and things like that to make sure that it seems to be a good quality kind of organization. Unloop checked all those boxes for me, and so that was our fundraiser for these past 4 months, but that ends today. At the end of the stream today, I'm going to go match whatever community donations are made. I think we're sitting around $395, I think the last I looked. And so if anybody wants to contribute to that, very much appreciated. But don't feel obligated. You're more than welcome to enter the giveaway without that. So don't feel obligated to contribute just for the giveaway. But that's why I'm doing the giveaways, is really to draw attention to who we're doing the fundraising for. The next 4 months is going to be a group called STEM to the Future, and that helps Black and Latino schools have access to equipment and curriculum to help those kinds of kids get into the idea that, hey, they are also welcome in STEM careers. And so they're going to be our next recipient. And again, whenever we hit $1,000 or at the end of the next 4 months, whichever comes first, then we'll roll over to another organization. But we're going to do another month-long giveaway, similar to what we were doing in April, which is now trickling into May. We're going to do another month-long giveaway for STEM to the Future in the month of July. And then whichever group we pick for the last 4 months of the year, we're going to be doing the month-long giveaway in the month of October, mostly so that I can ship everything out and you'll have it for holidays if you're going to get things for holiday gifts and so on. So yeah, so that's that. So we're going to give away one more laser etch. We got the dragon to give away, and then we get a Boba Fett ship. So feel free to exclamation point giveaway. We're going to do the next laser etch right now. And then if you got other questions, typically Sunday would be my career prep stream, but feel free to drop questions if you want. But otherwise, I'm happy to also just nerd out on 3D printing and stuff like that too. Jay Brinker did exclamation point enter. It's actually exclamation point giveaway. So I don't do bang enter because I don't want to appear like I'm using Stream Elements. All of this stuff is homemade. So you will need to do exclamation point giveaway. Also, if you're watching over on Kick, I do have a couple of viewers over on Kick, and I appreciate the eyeballs over there. we kind of go back and forth between having viewers on YouTube or not. I'm also streaming over on YouTube. If you want to ever go check out my YouTube channel, but nobody's over there. But if you're on Kick or YouTube, you will need to come over to Twitch to do exclamation point giveaway, because I don't have YouTube hooked up and Kick doesn't have an API for doing chatbot stuff. So you will need to come over to Twitch if you want to get in on the giveaway. But exclamation point giveaway, and I will ship anywhere in the world. If you're in the domestic US, I'll cover shipping. If you're international, we'll talk about like splitting the cost, or I'll contribute like a portion of the cost or something like that. But thanks again, Westry, for the raid in. That was a very short stream for you today. I thought you were going to do like another like 36-hour stream or something today. Just kidding. I know Westry1 was doing a bunch of giveaways and stuff like that. I think I got a Lego kit on Westry's stream yesterday. It's like a Moana kit. So looking forward to that. I've had the Moana soundtrack going through my head ever since. It's funny because I got the You're Welcome song stuck in my head when I won that drawing. And then I was at a store last night and they were playing, I was at Home Depot of all places, and they were playing like the theme song at the very end of the movie. Can't even think of the title of it, but it's like the main like sort of song or whatever that the pop singer sings like while the credits are rolling. They had that one playing at Home Depot when I was there. Anyway, cool. So we're going to do that giveaway for the laser engraving, and then we'll do a giveaway for the dragon. So we'll do a giveaway. So when I do bang giveaway, we'll get a little bit of statistics here as far as how many entries we have. So we got 7 daily entries. We got a total of 87 for the dragon, for the really big blue dragon in May, from 61 different users. So we're going to do a giveaway. So we're going to do a giveaway daily. So this is going to be for another laser engraving of some kind, and you'll have the choice of whether you want like a big disc sort of thing, or if you want like a small engraved square or 4x6 thing, or if you want like a custom engraved keychain. You'll have your choice on that. You'll just have to DM me what you want your choice to be. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to draw that right now. So we'll do a little drum roll here. You will need to be in chat. Let me know you're still paying attention, because you're going to need to know the instructions of what to do. But Jay Brinker, congratulations. You are the recipient of a laser engraving. So I've got really big signs like this. These are almost 12 inches in size. So we got things like this that I can do. I've got lots of different like family sayings or like sarcastic and funny kinds of things that will etch well on a circle. Or if you want like a custom monogram with your actual name on there, we can talk about those kinds of designs. If you want like a little custom design, I can send you the catalog. You can go over to cool3dthings.com. Let me pull up the link and I'll cool 3D things, all products. I'll drop this link in chat for you. If you want to go check out that catalog of stuff, you can go pick your own thing from there. Also, most of these designs will print decently well on the round circle as well. Or if you want a custom keychain of some kind, you can just DM me your choice, and you'll also need to send me your name and your address, and I'll get that stuff shipped out. You like the circle? Okay. Well, let me know which one you want. If you want one of the ones I've already etched, I can just pop that right in the mail. Or if you want to if you still want to pick from that, or we can chat offline if you want like a big monogram. Like I've got like the blank family, and I can just fill in your family name with a really nice font and like laser engrave that custom for you. And then you can let me know like, do you want like 2 holes? Like, do you want 2 holes in the back? Do you just want one in the center to hang that thing? Or do you want them like on the sides to like screw on the wall or whatever? Like we can chat about that. So send me a direct message and we can chat a little bit more. Cool. What else? I've got a Raspberry Pi kit that I need to unbox, as well as these smoke sensors. This is a kit that I got on eBay that I need to open up. Not that I need more Raspberry Pis in my life. Well, I kind of do. But this is a Raspberry Pi 3 kit. I basically just want to kind of show off like what's in the box. What's in the box? And I'm going to assemble this kit. And this is actually going to go on the laser engraver. So I unboxed a little Raspberry Pi camera that I hooked up to an existing Raspberry Pi 3 that I've got. So that when the laser engraver starts moving, I set up that Raspberry Pi camera as a motion detection, that as soon as it detects motion, it would start recording. And so I can now record video of actually making laser engraving. So I kind of want to show off what's in this little kit box that came from Amazon. But this one, I've got like a what we call a shield that's going to go on top, and then these smoke sensors that are in this bag here, I'm going to unbox those next, are basically going to plug into that. And I'm going to put those sensors all around the laser engravers to let me measure air quality. And then this Tuesday, I'm going to code the API for this Raspberry Pi that's going to let me read that sensor data so we can actually see some charts and graphs. We'll probably get ChatGPT to help us generate some of that code, especially for the front end and the graphs. But I want to build out an API that we can query to say, like, go read this sensor, go read that sensor, and then just have the front end go hit all of those things and just constantly like build out like a streaming graph that we can watch for air quality. So while I'm etching, I can see like the quality of air control and things like that. All right, so in the box, we got this little bag, and this little bag holds a Raspberry Pi 3B. It's a very standard Raspberry Pi. It's got full-size HDMI port on it. The Raspberry Pi 4 has like a little micro HDMI, but this has a full-size HDMI port. It has a gigabyte of RAM. It's got 4 USB 2.0 ports, so it's the slower USB. It does have Ethernet. That it'll do gigabyte Ethernet if you hook up an Ethernet connection. Although the maximum throughput is only 300 megabit, which is kind of disappointing. It's got a gigabit interface, but because it's running that over, I believe that runs over the USB channel, you're limited to how much bandwidth USB can actually consume. And the more things you plug into the USB, the less bandwidth it can do the Ethernet. So it does have wireless. It'll do 802.11b, G, N, and AC. It's probably, I don't know if it'll do 5 gigahertz. It's probably 2.4 gigahertz. Inside that box, we have a little 32 gigabyte SD card, as well as the adapter. I won't need the adapter. I've got about a bazillion of these, but I can always use more of those 32 gigabyte cards. And then just the Raspberry Pi card itself. The shield that I have is basically going to plug on all these input-output pins, these I/O pins, and it's going to sit on top, and then the sensors are going to plug into that. But I do need to go find that card. So that's a Raspberry Pi. It also comes with a clear acrylic case. I've actually seen some really cool like 3D printed versions of Raspberry Pi cases, and because this is going to have a custom shield on it, I'm probably not going to use this acrylic case. I'll probably assemble it into here just to see what it's going to look like. It's a really nice kind of smoky acrylic. It's not like perfectly see-through. It's kind of this opaque kind of thing where you can still kind of see what's inside. It does give you the spot for a little fan here on top. The box did include a tiny little fan for cooling. But I got to figure out how can I open this without breaking it. Sometimes these acrylic cases are a little fragile. And Tosha says, I just watched Seven last week. Seven was my favorite movie for the longest time because I didn't like Gwyneth Paltrow as an actress. If you've seen the movie, you know why. There we go. So the lid of this comes off. So we could still use this and put the shield inside, and I just wouldn't use this part. Although it does look like it opens up the shield extension here, that if you had an extender that would reach all the way through here to plug into the Raspberry Pi, I could have the shield sit on top of that, but that would block the fan from doing its job. So I probably won't go that route. Inside of here, looks like there's a couple of little foam pads and a couple of screws. Looks like 4 tiny little screws, probably to, I don't know what those little screws are going to be for, because the Raspberry Pi sits on little pegs inside. So there's little pegs. You can see it over in this corner here. There's these 4 pegs that sit up, and the Raspberry Pi actually has holes on the board that'll sit into. So there's no real way to secure the Raspberry Pi onto the frame. So I'm not sure what those little screws are for, because you wouldn't generally want to have this thing like locked down that tight. So we'll have to see if there's a instruction kit or something with this. So like I said, I'll probably assemble it into the acrylic frame, but we probably won't use that long term. They do give you an Ethernet cable. We'll have to judge the quality of the cable. I'll plug it into my my router over here. It'll tell me whether it's actually, it says it's Cat 6. So Cat 5 is the typical gigabit Ethernet. I'm surprised they would include a Cat 6 cable when the Raspberry Pi can't even do gigabit. Cat 6 is a bit overkill for that. It would be like putting like 95 octane gasoline in like, you know, some little 1970 beaters car. It's like you're not really helping it at that point. We do have an AC adapter. I love that they've got a power switch on this. That's something that I wish more power adapters had for Raspberry Pis. So that way you don't just have to unplug it. You know, you've actually got a power switch, although this is right next to the plug. So, but I like having a power switch that you can click on and off as opposed to just unplugging the thing. There are a couple of little heat sinks in here for the Raspberry Pi, again, to help with cooling. I generally haven't found a need for heat sinks on my Raspberry Pis because I don't push them that much, but if I hook up all of these sensors, it's going to be busy enough that it's probably going to warrant having the heat sinks on there. And then they give you a full HDMI to HDMI cable. I don't see any kind of rating on here as far as what kind of HDMI cable this is, if it's like 1.0 or 1.1. The Ethernet cable had a rating printed on the cable. That's how I knew it was Cat 6. This one doesn't have any kind of rating on the cable. And I've also got like a bazillion of these HDMI cables, so probably not going to use that. I may plug it into the monitor here to do some of the setup. And then it looks like they give you an extra little USB micro SD adapter. Again, how useful is this when the SD card itself already has this kind of adapter? If you've got this kind of adapter on your computer, then you don't need the USB. The USB is also USB 2, which is disappointing because they give you a really high speed SD card. Like these gray-red SD cards are like really super performant. But then they give you a USB 2 connector. You can see that the inside of the connector there is black. USB 3 would have a blue piece of plastic on the bottom of the USB plug. So this is USB 2, which is like, you know, it'd be like driving a Porsche with the emergency brake on. You know, you've got the potential for really fast transfer times, but I'm going to limit it by putting it through something really, really slow. So I'm going to plug this directly into my computer because I've got an adapter on a USB 3 into a USB-C port, which is going to make this run way, way faster than running that off a USB port. I find that kind of stuff helpful to explain on a stream where people may not know, and they'll just see like, oh, I got this USB thing, and like, why is it so slow? But the Raspberry Pi 3 isn't really that performant of a piece of equipment anyway. But knowing that I'm not going to spend like half the day waiting for it to write the operating system onto that SD card so that I can actually go use it will be really helpful. So that was the kit. There's a lot of stuff in there. Unfortunately, right now, Raspberry Pis are like stupid expensive. So that kit that you just saw me unbox was like $300. I'm hoping to recoup some of that cost by making these videos and stuff like that for YouTube, but we'll see. It'll be nice when some of these prices come down, but I think the price tag on that was very overinflated for what it was. For being a Raspberry Pi 3 with only 1 gigabyte of RAM. The acrylic case is like worth maybe a couple of dollars. The heat sinks are maybe a couple of dollars. The Cat 6 cable is completely unnecessary. They could have gone with even 100 megabit cable, or just a regular Cat 5. They didn't have to go Cat 6 on that cable. HDMI cable is worth a couple of bucks. The power adapter is worth maybe $5. The SD card's like 10 or 15 bucks for the 32 gigabyte version. So like nothing in that box is worth like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So the Raspberry Pi is like, you know, unfortunately overinflated right now. But yeah, the kit is definitely not worth $300 for what they included inside. All right, so let's talk about these smoke sensors, and then we'll do a drawing for the Dragon. Then we got the drawing for the Boba Fett ship. So if you still want to get on the giveaway, feel free to do the giveaway. Mad Cat, good to see you as well. We've been showing off some 3D printer filament. We're unboxing a Raspberry Pi and some smoke sensors for my laser engraver. We got 2 more giveaways to do, so feel free to get in on the giveaway here. Driving a Porsche on a donut tire. Yeah, it's probably a better analogy for sure. Raspberry's okay. I prefer pumpkin pie. Fair. Especially with the whipped cream on there. Hey, Mr. Rick says, the pie has become an impulse buy for me. Whenever I'm at Micro Center and they have them in stock, I grab one. So Micro Center used to be really great because at the register, they'd be like, oh, you want a Raspberry Pi Zero? It's like $5. And I bought so many of those. And then they came out with the Pi Zero, which has the wireless, and that was like $10. And I'm like, yeah, let me grab one of those. And now they're like $75, $100 buying them online because they're, the Raspberry Pi Foundation just isn't making them fast enough, which is unfortunate. So these are the smoke sensors that I got. I'm not sure why this one's called Flying Fish, but these are the kinds of sensors. They've just got these little 4-pin headers on them. I thought initially that these were Grove connectors, so I actually don't need that shield, but I am going to need a whole bunch of connector wires to actually connect these sensors. This one's just called an MQ sensor, so I'm going to have to go figure out what that means. They're very well labeled, and there's a little potentiometer on the back that you can control something about here on the back. The way that most of these things work is they take in an active voltage and a ground, and then there's usually like 1 or 2 data pins on here. And basically, as it detects particulates in the air, so it has a voltage in and it has a voltage out, and then it has a ground plug, and then there's usually a data pin if there's something extra that you need to control. And so what happens is you give it 5 volts, and then the voltage out, basically it has kind of a resistor in here that as it detects different particulates, the output voltage will vary based on what the sensor actually measures. And so you're giving it 3 volts or 5 volts, and then it's going to come back out with a certain amount of voltage based on the percentage of the particulates. If the sensor can do multiple kinds of particulates, like, let's say, for example, this one detected carbon monoxide and methane, that data pin would tell me the percentages of each kind of thing. Or it might be like 1 pin is for methane and 1 pin is for CO2, carbon monoxide, that sort of thing. But these are the kinds of sensors that I picked up. And so I've actually got 2 bags of all of these sensors because, like I said, I've got a Raspberry Pi over there with a camera, and now I've got this Raspberry Pi. So I want to hook them up each with these sensors just to kind of measure. So Flying Fish looks to be the brand. This one appears to be the exact same sensor as the other one. Not sure what the difference is. I'm going to have to go look at the documentation on what these sensors actually are. But these air quality sensors are doing all different things. They're measuring smoke, they're measuring particulates, they're measuring different gas levels, they're measuring different kinds of emissions and things like that. And so I wanted something that was just going to be more than just a smoke detector. I wanted something that was also going to detect like the amount of CO2 or the amount of carbon monoxide or whatever was coming off these laser engravers, so we can get a sense of air quality. And the reason that I wanted to do that is because I wanted to have, so here's a slightly different one. Again, I'm going to have to go look up what each of these things are because it just says MQ sensor. There's a power LED on there, but it doesn't tell me like what this particular sensor is. So I'm going to have to go look up documentation on like what are the differences between all of these different sensors. There's 9 of them in the bag. But I wanted to do a series of videos on when you have a laser engraver and it's producing all this smoke, especially when you're cutting like acrylic or something like that, what's in the air and how is that air going to affect us? And at what levels is it producing? And is it more effective to put a cover on there? The cover will generally help with like laser light scattering around the room so you don't hurt your eyes. Although I always keep a set of the laser goggles right next to my desk. So anytime they're on, I pop these on, even while I'm just walking around the workshop because I don't want to damage my eyes. But my basement will fill up with smoke like in a hurry as if I'm doing lots of laser etching. Typically, I'll put like a dozen of these down at a time, and it takes a couple of minutes each. And so that's a lot of smoke and things like that. And so I wanted to figure out, does having the enclosure on there help with the room quality, or how quickly can I detect smoke over here at my desk versus right next to the laser engraver? And and I want to kind of see the differences there. And then having the enclosure on or off, and then having the enclosure on with a fan, and having that fan go into some other sort of air purifier kind of thing. Does it help? Maybe not right next to the laser engraver, but over here at my desk, how long does it take to actually detect the smoke over here at my desk versus next to the laser engraver? So those are the kinds of things that I want to build up as a series of videos by measuring air quality around the laser engraver. So I bought like this big like air purifier thing at Home Depot, and it's just a standard sort of room air purifier thing where it sucks in air and it purifies it and spits it back out. But because it's right next to the laser engraver, it's like moving the smoke all around, and so it takes longer to actually like get the smoke into the machine and purify it, and so it tends to linger. So that's why I wanted to get a bunch of these sensors so we can kind of see what's going on there. So Tuesday's stream, when I do coding, I'm actually going to hook up these sensors. I'm going to read some data off of these sensors, and we'll look up the specs and figure out like what we need. We're going to build an API. We're going to get that on the Raspberry Pi and run off the Raspberry Pi so we can query that API and then be able to draw some charts. And I want to basically chart it over time that we can tell, like when I start a laser engraving, here's the smoke quality right next to the laser engraver. Here's the smoke quality at my desk, 15 feet away, and how quickly the sensors over here start to detect that smoke, because another 15 feet in that direction is the smoke detector. And if that goes off, they all go off in the house. And so if I'm doing laser etching at night, it would wake everybody up. That would be bad. And so I want to be able to figure out, like, once it's, reaches my desk at a certain level, I need to like shut off the laser engravers, or I need to like ping me with an alarm of like, hey, can you go hit pause on it or something to where it can stop or pause, clean the air for a little while, and then resume the laser etch. That's kind of where I want to get to with this, is just pause the laser engraving as we go. So that's the kind of stuff that we're going to do on Tuesday this week. For Thursday, I'm going to get back into airbrushing this dragon. So I'm painting this one to look like Smaug from Lord of the Rings. And this base is nice and heavy. It's probably... the base of this resin, I would actually have to weigh it. I'm going to say this base is almost as heavy as this whole model right here. It's a little subjective because I'm just holding them in my hands, but I made this like extra heavy just to have some oomph to it. I did pick up some gravel, some really coarse sand that I'm going to spray paint gold, and we're going to get into painting this more on Thursday. I've got a spray booth coming as well that I'm going to set up. I thought that was going to be in today, but they delayed it till Tuesday. So I'm going to unbox that, and we'll get that spray booth set up on Thursday to get into some spraying. And again, I'm going to start printing more dragons in that dark gray resin as well. So that'll be Thursday's stream. Tuesday is going to be these sensors. Today was all about career stuff and showing off 3D prints mostly. But cool. Let's do the giveaway for the dragon. If you're excited about a dragon, give me a little bit of hype. Let me know that you're still in chat. Exclamation point giveaway. If you want to get on the giveaway, if you are watching on Kick or on YouTube, you will need to come over to Twitch to enter the giveaway, because I don't have those other APIs set up. Thank you, Antosha, for the hydration. Appreciate that. Coffee. So we'll say that we've already drawn for the daily giveaway, but that's fine. We have plenty more. We're still drawing names, so don't let that scare you away. Every entry, again, is giving you an entry into the Big Blue Dragon giveaway that we're doing on May 13th. So get in here, get in those giveaway entries. Is that a Yeti? No, this is like a knockoff Yeti. It's a knockoff Yeti. It's still like vacuum sealed metal, but the lid is not the magnetic Yeti lid. And these ones tend to like drop closed. Like as soon as you like tip it towards your face, it kind of drops closed a lot of the time. So I've got to like hold it open. But I also really don't like the design because this air hole right here lines up with your nose. So as you're taking a drink, your nose actually hits that air thing that normally lets the liquid come out. And so as you're drinking it, you're like, why is nothing coming out? It's because your nose is blocking that thing. So you got to like hold it away from your nose a little bit while you're drinking, but then you end up like really cranking your neck to get anything out of it. So I might drill my own little air hole in there. I don't know. But I am curious because I do have, so for the Xtool laser engraver, I did buy the rotary tool for that one. And so I'm a little bit curious about like laser etching on these. These were only a couple of bucks on Amazon. The brand is, it's called Stay down here at the bottom. You can kind of see Stay on there. I did buy an infrared laser module, so I could etch directly onto the metal. But this is just it's just like a paint or whatever on top of the metal, so I can etch away on this really well. So I may pick up a couple more of these just to practice etching on a rotary tool. I've never used a rotary tool before. So I'm excited to make some videos about some of that stuff. Like, what am I learning about laser engraving and stuff like that. So, all right, well, let's get in on the giveaway. We're going to give away a dragon. So again, the dragon that everybody voted on was the Starlight Neptune. So it's this really cool, like, dark teal, and then it's got this really cool, like, green aqua shimmer kind of coming through. It doesn't show up well on camera, and it shows up more dark blue than it is. It's a dark teal. It's a nice, not super dark teal. It's kind of a medium teal color. But then you get that sort of like aqua green shimmer going through this. So whatever kind of like rainbow dust the folks over at Polymaker mixing in with their magic, this comes out nice. So this is the dragon that we're giving away. So get in on that giveaway. Exclamation point giveaway. Hey, Digital Dragon, good to see you. Westry One was streaming for almost 5 hours. Lost your voice. Uh-oh. That's no fun. Hope you can find your voice. So yeah, so that's the dragon we're going to give away today. Also, I have another dragon that I airbrushed. Let me go grab that real quick. So I mentioned when Westery raided in that everybody who raids into my channel gets put in a separate giveaway that I draw from every quarter, and they get something really special. And so I actually printed this in a nice matte green color, but then I went in and I painted it myself. And so the gold shimmer that you see on the top there, that's actually from airbrush paint that I painted on here. It was all like a very matte kind of green. And they said they wanted a multiple. I told them I was going to make a dragon. What color did they want? They said, I want something with multiple kinds of green. And I'm like, well, I don't really have like a green rainbow gradient kind of filament or even a co-extrusion. So I just printed like a kind of a matte forest green, and I went in and I manually airbrushed and painted lots of different greens, and then I kind of hit it with this gold, this really nice gold sparkly kind of paint. And so I did the horns and kind of that gold, and I just kind of went over just very randomly. And so this is going out to Madeline. Used to go by Madeline of Rivia, is now Madeline Patience here on Twitch. And so Madeline is getting this in the mail this week. It's all dried and ready to go. So that's going to get shipped off to Madeline. Madeline came by the stream, helped her out with her resume and how to talk about interview skills, and then she went and got herself a job in the tech industry, her first tech job. So she was super excited about that, and I was super excited when she raided over. She brought a whole bunch of cool folks over to the channel, and then the bot chose Madeline as the giveaway recipient for the raid giveaway, or the Raiders giveaway. So anybody that ever raids into my channel, you get into some kind of special giveaway where I'm going to do something extra special as a thank you for bringing your communities over. So that's going to go to Madeline, and that Neptune dragon is going to go to a lucky winner that we're going to draw right now. So let's go take a look at how many giveaway entries we got. Again, every daily entry that you get, or every day that you enter, you're going to get in the monthly giveaway for the blue dragon. We have 91 total entries for that blue dragon. We got 11 entries today. So we're going to do a giveaway daily. So I'm going to give everybody like 30 more seconds. If you want to get in on this giveaway, you got 30 seconds. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw for the Neptune dragon. And then after that, if anybody wants to stay in the drawing for the Boba Fett ship, I'm going to draw for the Boba Fett. If you don't want the Boba Fett ship, you can pass. But Star Wars Day is coming up. And I'm hoping that I can get this shipped out to somebody in time to receive it on Star Wars Day. That was kind of the goal all along, but I'm gonna try my best to like expedite some shipping on this, especially if you're domestic in the United States. I'll try to get this to you by Star Wars Day on Thursday. I was gonna show one other giveaway, so I'll give you another 30 seconds to get on the giveaway. Exclamation point giveaway. On Star Wars Day, we're gonna run a poll for which of these two kits you want me to give away on Star Wars Day. So we got Luke's X-Wing fighter, or we have the new TIE Bomber. This is the new one that they just came out with this year. This one they've had out for a little while, but this one has a Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, General Dodonna, and an R2-D2. Looks like this one comes with Darth Vader, Vice Admiral Sloane, a TIE Bomber pilot, and a Gonk droid. So these are the minifigs that you get with the TIE Bomber. And so you're going to have your choice. We're going to run a poll for which of these we give away. Are we giving away a Rebel or are we giving away an Imperial ship for Star Wars Day this week? So those are going to be the giveaways on Thursday for the daily giveaway. That's also going to give you an entry for the Dragon. So that's Thursday. So definitely want to come back for Star Wars Day. I'm going to be streaming for work that morning, not on this channel, but I'll be streaming for work. If anybody wants to go check out that channel, it's just Get Postman. That'll be the channel that I'm going to be streaming. We're going to be doing some nerdy like API software stuff. We'll probably get some lights changing color, and we're going to do some like fun like Yoda translator APIs and things like that. So if you want to come check that out, that'll be this channel. It'll be twitch.tv Get Postman. So you can come check that out if you like. Cool. All right. Well, let's draw for a dragon, shall we? The recipient of the Starlight Neptune Dragon is Hey Mr. Rick. So congratulations, Hey Mr. Rick. You are the recipient of the Starlight Neptune 3D printer dragon. This was printed on my Prusa Mark IV. So congratulations. Send me your name and your address, and we will get this shipped in your direction. Not just in your direction, hopefully right to your door. But yeah, congratulations. Again, it's really, really nice. Before I box it up today, I'm going to go take a picture of this outside. But this printed really, really nicely on the Prusa Mark IV. I did the Jupiter one on the Mark III. I did the Mercury one on the Mark III. The Jupiter one I did on a 0.6 nozzle. All these other ones are 0.4. I did all the Amelin ones on the Bamboos, also with 0.4. But yeah, really, really nice. So we'll get that out. RC, good to see you. Good timing on you entering. Yeah, exactly. So you missed out on the Dragon, but I do have the Boba Fett ship to give away for Star Wars Day. So this will be our Star Wars Day giveaway. I do want to hopefully have this arrive to the recipient by Thursday for Star Wars Day. Should you message me on Twitch, Discord, either one? Either one's fine. If you know how to reach me on Discord, you can reach me there. If you want to go hang out on our Discord community, the voice bot should drop that link. There it is. So you can go check that out. You can ping me through that. Just ping me privately. Send me your name and your address. So yeah, so we're going to draw one last time for the Boba Fett ship. This was printed on my Prusa Mark IV and hand painted by me. And when I say hand painted, I mean airbrushed. This is pretty much entirely airbrushed, if I remember right. I don't think I did any hand painting on this one, but I did custom mix all the colors. So yeah, did some like battle scarring and stuff like that, because starships don't stay pristine forever. So we're gonna get that sent out. I just noticed on the very end, I'm like, somebody draw a little happy face on the bottom of the ship, but there's actually this little indent. These are little indentations on the model when you put it together. It does look like a little like worried, sad face. It's kind of funny now that once you see it, you can't not see it. But it's got like this little ridge that looks like an eyebrow, and then it's got like a little face on there. So anyway, so we're gonna give that one away right now. So yeah, let's mark off Mr. Rick, and you're getting the Neptune Dragon. All right, last drawing for the day. Exclamation point giveaway if anybody wants the Boba Fett ship. Tech Titan, good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Been in major lurk mode last couple of weeks. Good deal. Good to have you come by. I love that I'm surprised. I love that I'm surprised my coffee is hot. I just made it. I would hope it's hot if you just made it. So, all right. Well, let's give away a Boba Fett ship. Last chance for exclamation point giveaway. Exclamation point giveaway will nope. Exclamation point giveaway will give you a drawing for the Boba Fett ship, but it's also going to give you an entry for the big 3D dragon that we're giving away on May 13th. We were going to give this away this Tuesday, but because I was not streaming for several weeks, I decided I was going to extend that. So keep coming by, keep doing exclamation point giveaway, and we'll do more of those giveaways. I am going to have to correct the software to be a multi-month kind of thing, but we'll figure that out. So this Tuesday, I'm going to be doing Raspberry Pi with smoke sensors for the laser engravers. Thursday, I'm going to be doing more airbrushing on a resin version of that dragon. I'm painting this one to look like Smaug from Lord of the Rings. And I'm also going to be using this giant bucket of resin that I got for free from Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival. I'm going to start mass producing these dragons as well. And we'll do some giveaways, and I'll be selling those on the website as well. And also some of these other amylin filaments and stuff. I'm going to get all these dragons outside in the sunlight here in just a moment, and going to grab some pictures on the turntable and stuff. So you can go check out the Instagram feed on that. Again, I'm just Ian Douglas 736 on all those platforms. I'll post them on Instagram and Twitter if you want to check them out. Alrighty, let me know how the resin is. Yeah, I appreciate you. So RC Maniac was the one that found me this little resin thing. He's like, "Hey, check this out," and I was busy packing up stuff, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll check it out later." And I got home, I'm like, "All right, what is this thing all about?" And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Oh, what's this coupon code thing?" And then I'm like, "Dang, you get like this giant 4-kilogram jug." I'm kind of curious why they weigh it in kilograms and not liters like most resin, but whatever. And it's this giant jug of resin, so I'm excited to go see that. Oh yeah, Unloop. Thank you for the reminder. So before we wrap up the stream, I'm going to go match all the contributions for Unloop. So we're at $395. If anybody else wants to get in a last-minute contribution for Unloop, this is the last day for our Unloop fundraiser. After today, we're going to roll over to STEM to the Future. Who makes the resin? It's Whip in the house. What's going on, Whip? It's a company called 3drs.com. Well, that's the company I bought it from. I don't know if it's their brand. Let me check. Yep, it's their brand. So the jug on the side is 3drs.com. They sell in bulk. Yeah. How does it smell? No idea. Haven't opened it up. Hopefully not horrible. But I mean, it's resin, so it's going to be horrible. Just it's a question of how horrible. But yeah, big, massive jug of this stuff. Shake well before use. Low viscosity, high resolution. So they listed it as an 8K resin, which is great because I've got a 6K resin printer. Keep out of reach of children, yet they trust me with it. Read all safety information before using 3D printing resin. If swallowed, wash your mouth out with water and seek medical attention. Okay. If it's on skin, wash with plenty of soap and water. If it's in your eyes, rinse carefully with water for several minutes. Remove contact lenses if present and easy to do so. Continue rinsing. If exposed or concerned, get medical attention. Okay. Calibration instructions. So they give you a little QR code for calibration. Yeah, let's see how awful this smells. They did ship it very, very well. They've also got like additional like tape and stuff over the spout. It'll be interesting to see how well this pours out in a way that's going to be easy to sort of manage. Did a very good job taping this thing shut. I'll proof this thing. What's going on? one of those like push it down and turn it kind of thing. They child-proof locked it. The odor of it's no worse than most other resins that I have. Yeah, it's no worse than most other resins. It's not odorless, but it's not the most obnoxious resin that I've ever used. I've used some pretty obnoxious resins, but I never kept track of what the brand was. But I'm pretty much now only buying like the Anycubic resin since I've got an Anycubic printer. This is the first off-brand resin I'll be trying in that printer. So we'll see how that goes on Thursday. Cool. What else did I miss here? Are the helmets going? So GBav, that printer is not operational. I actually tried selling it at a show last weekend. It's not going well. It's basically on hold. Someone has offered to help try to fix it, but they're also finishing up like either a master's degree or a PhD or something. And so I'm like, I'm not even going to give you the printer to look at until you finish school. So they'll take a look at that in probably another 3 weeks and then see if we can get it up and running. It prints small things really well, but it doesn't print really big things. Holy crap. I just now noticed like a bunch of people are donating to Unloop. Wow, we're up to almost $700 now. We were at $400 a minute ago. So huge thank you. Whip for 25. Who else donated that I missed? RC donating $270.42. Y'all are amazing. Oh, I see what you did, RC. Thank you, RC Maniac. Thank you for that. So yeah, so we will eventually get some helmets going. I promised GBav the very first helmet that I made, and we'll get that one airbrushed and stuff like that. So we will get those at some point. I just don't have timing on when that printer is going to get finished up. But yeah, hopefully soon. Hopefully in the next month or two. And then yeah, we'll be printing helmets and cosplay and getting into a lot more airbrushing and stuff like that. So not that it's not happening anymore. It's just it's just not working well. So all right. So last chance to enter the giveaway. We're going to give away the little Boba Fett ship that I printed and airbrushed. We're going to give this away right now. So exclamation point giveaway in chat. Get in there. GBav. GBav is in the giveaway. All right. Who else is not in the giveaway that I'm seeing chatting? You definitely want to get in on the giveaway, and I'm going to ship this over to you. And then I'm going to go match all of those donations for Unloop, and we'll get that sent over their way. Again, big thank you to everybody who's supporting the fundraisers. For those that know me, you know that diversity is something that I really care about in the tech industry. And so it's something that I personally love contributing to, and I appreciate all of you in the community that are helping contribute to that as well. So thank you. Cool. Well, let's give away a Boba Fett ship, shall we? Here we go. Give me some hype in chat while I do the giveaway daily command. Come on, give me some hype in chat. Drop some emotes. Show me some love. Let's get some upbeat music going here for just a minute. Actually, let's get some Star Wars lo-fi going here. We get some lo-fi Mandalorian going on here. It's not quite Boba Fett, but
Two
hours later. All right, let's do a giveaway here for our Boba Fett ship. All right, here we go. Choosing our recipient, Pop Prince. Pop Prince, if you're still hanging out in chat, you are the recipient. You do need to let me know that you're still present in chat. Let me know that you're still in chat, Pop Prince. Pass. Okay, Pop Prince wants to pass, so we'll redraw. Totally okay to pass on that, by the way. So giveaway daily. All right, everybody's still got chances to win. And that recipient is Learner, who also left earlier. So I'm going to do one last draw. Okay, just put it in the kitchen. Thanks. Doggo is going nuts upstairs, which means HelloFresh has shown up. All right, so we'll do one more giveaway. Giveaway daily. It's going to help if I spell it properly. All right, here we go. The recipient is RC Maniac. RC Maniac, you are the recipient of a Boba Fett ship. What is spelling even? So we know RC's in chat. RC, do you want the Boba Fett ship? Let me know in chat. Smash or pass, and I'll do one more redraw if you don't want it. It's totally okay if you want to pass. You'll also pass. All right. So last chance. Give away daily. All right. Now with more chances. Unfortunately, it is possible to redraw. Yep, there it is. So Learner got it again. We'll do one more without the drum roll. We'll just do a giveaway daily. And we'll spell it properly so it'll actually work this time. GBAV, I think, is really hoping for this Boba Fett ship. We'll see. Maniac got chosen again. Come on, giveaway bot. I need like a giveaway pass or something on this where it like won't redraw that same person. Pop Prince got chosen again. What the heck? Totally rigged here. The bot is random, I promise. Mark H. Mark H. New person drawing. Is Mark H still in chat, though? That's the other question. That's the other question. If Mark H is not here, I'm going to choose a recipient. Because I know someone in chat that really, really, really wants this. Mark H. Are you still there, Mark H? Random wheel generator works to cancel off names. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just need to build that in mind that if the person like types in like a pass or something that Westry 1 wins. Yeah, good job, Westry. All right, well, I'm going to make an executive decision here since Mark H is also not here, and we've also drawn for this a ton of times. And this person has been very patiently waiting for some Star Wars related things from me to be both printed and painted. That GBAV, I'm going to send the Boba Fett ship your way. So send me a Twitch whisper or a Discord whisper with your name and your address. Well, I know your first name, but like send me all your mailing details. I'm going to get this to you so you get it before Star Wars Day on Thursday. So GBAV, I'm going to send this your way. Congrats, dude. You've been very patiently waiting on a helmet from me, and I feel bad. So I'm gonna send this your way. So send me your details, and we'll get this your way. So it's all airbrushed and handcrafted and so on from my printers and my airbrush to your desk. Yeah. So custom mixed all the colors and stuff like that. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'll get so it's got little guns down here on the turret that I didn't attach yet, but I've got those painted up. I probably won't attach them for shipping just because they're going to be pretty fragile, but I will include them in the box. But send me your details either on Twitch or Discord, and I'll send that over your way. Yeah, RC got to see it in person. I did have this on my table at Murph, as we call it. Looking forward to going to Murph in a couple of I guess end of June. I'm hoping to get out to Murph for a day or so, and hopefully meet some other folks. I think Westry is going to be there. DB3D Dan's going to be there. I think BC and Royal Nomi are going out for that one again, so I'll get to see them again. Speaking of fragile, did your print make it back in one piece? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should show everybody that. So RC Maniac made this for me on a Prusa Mini. Check out the detail on this thing. Made this on a Prusa Mini. And this is also going to get airbrushed at some point. Probably not this week. Although I may put a primer coat. I may start a primer coat on this one this week. But RC Maniac 3D printed this. It's actually two different pieces. So it's got the base and then it's got the... Is it a dragon? It looks more like a lion with wings. Can't really tell. But super, super nice print very, very low resolution, or extremely high resolution, I guess is what we would say, print. I'm not sure. Oh, it goes that way. There we go. So yeah, very, very high detail print. Was it like 0.08 layer height or something on the Prusa Mini? I think RC Maniac said it took him over an hour just to get the support material off of this thing. So at some point, yeah, I'm gonna get in and paint this thing as well. Big thank you to RC Maniac for bringing that. So RC actually packed that in a bag of rice just for the stability and so on in order to bring that out to Colorado. 0.15 layer height? Okay. Organic supports, cool. Yeah, it looks really, really nice. So I'm going to get some pictures of that. So I'm going to take all these things outside right at the end of the stream here. So I got to go do the unloop thing, and then we'll wrap up. We'll raid out. So somebody wants to find me a raid target. I would appreciate that. I'm going to go do the unloop thing here. And I will also contribute to unloop. So it looks like I'm adding an additional $690.42 over to unloop. So let me go pull up my own Twitch stream for that. And we will also contribute over to unloop. So for full transparency, because I always promise this transparency, we're going to get a bit of stream inception going over here. But just to show you that, so we're fundraising for unloop. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to donate $690.42. I think I'll do this part off the stream. Bear with me for a moment while I not do this on stream, but I will show you the resulting page. This is all coming through. That's set up here real quick. Okay, we got the credit card details in there. I'm gonna fill out my postal code. Donate now. And it's got to send me a text message. So let me go do that real quick. It's asking for a one-time code. It didn't do the autofocus. 3. Submit. Okay. Payment processing. Your donation order will be completed soon, it says. Thank you for your donation. So here we go. I'll grab a little screenshot of that. Donation confirmation is sent. So there we go, folks. I have matched the community donations. Appreciate that very, very much. So we raised $1,380.84 for Unloop over the past 4 months. So again, big, big appreciation to everybody helping out with that. Sorry for the streamception. Let me show all that off. So big thank you to everybody for contributing to that. Very much appreciated. So we're going to roll over to a new group called STEM to the Future. And we will, again, it's for Black and Latino schools to have access to STEM education materials, as well as things like electronics and laptops and things along those lines. Not just the curriculum, but also the equipment in order to teach the curriculum. We're going to raise another, again, same kind of thing with a $2,000 goal, with the idea that the community raises 1,000 of that and I match the other 1,000. And so we'll run that for the next 4 months. We're going to do another month-long giveaway the month of July, similar to what we're doing this month with the dragons and the resin prints and the laser etching. We're going to do another month-long giveaway thing in July for that, just to kind of raise awareness. Whenever we hit that $1,000 or the end of that 4 months, whichever comes first, we'll roll over to another group. So if we meet that $1,000 earlier, then I'll find another organization. So once we do that rollover, I'm going to go through, I'm going to scrutinize a bunch of other places and go check out all their finances and make sure they're on the up and up and legit and stuff like that. But big thank you. Seriously, everybody, thank you for contributing to that, especially for those that donated today. So Whip and RC, thank you for your extra contributions. We've had a number of other people contribute, like Erican Wife and G, who is Jay, I think, contributed a little bit to that. So big appreciation to everybody. All your bits and subs and stuff, it goes into contributing to these, but most of this money is just out of my own pocket because it's something that I very much believe in. So I'm happy to use my own money for that kind of stuff. So thank you for that. This is also why I don't heavily promote like, oh, bits and subs, give me your subs and things like that. I make money in the tech industry, so I don't make money as a streamer. I give all that money back. You can do !money in chat, and it'll take you to a transparency page where I show you all the money I make as a streamer, which isn't much. But all of that goes back into like paying for the shipping for things and, contributing back to these fundraisers, mostly the fundraisers. This is where I try to direct that money. All right, let's go see who's online. Oh, C# Fritz is online. So C# Fritz runs another community group called Live Coders, and Fritz also accepted me into their Live Coders team as well. And so we're going to go right into C# Fritz and say hello over there. And so let's go do a raid command. So I've got a raid command here, and that's going to pull up a goofy little dad joke. We'll make sure it's appropriate. There we go. So I tell dad jokes, but I have no kids. I'm a faux pas. All right. So if you can help me out, grab that raid message. We're going to go right over to C# Fritz. C# Fritz. Make sure I spell it correctly. Yep. So we're going to go right over there. If you can grab that raid message for me and drop that in his chat when we get over there, appreciate it. We'll catch everybody on Tuesday. We're going to get this Raspberry Pi up and running. We're going to do smoke sensors and stuff like that. We're going to have some fun with that. We're going to build out an API. We'll do more giveaways. We'll do probably a dragon and a laser etch on Tuesday. Thursday is going to be painting. We'll do more giveaways there. We'll catch y'all back on Tuesday. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, whatever's left. And we'll catch you all on the next stream. Cheers, everybody.